All right, we back for another episode. I'm gonna stop saying the numbers, but we're back for another episode. Um, Hope everybody had a great weekend so far. And did y'all watch the fight last night? It amazes me how people, if they don't like a boxer, they always find something to make the boxer sing. Like first they was talking about I'm gonna use Shakur Stevens. He fought last night. First they was talking about he's a runner. Then they was saying he doesn't hit hard and he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that. But look how Teofimo Lopez looked. And now they're trying to say, oh, Teofimo Lopez this and now you're trying to downplay Teofimo Lopez because you don't like Shakur Stevens. Teofimo Lopez is a great fighter. Not a elite not a all-time great, but he's a great fighter. He's a good fighter. He beat a lot of good boxers. But now y'all want to take away from Shakur legacy and him winning that fight. Let me go over to see what's going on with YouTube. All right. All right, we on. We good. We good. YouTube is good. Let me see. Hopefully people start coming in here. And then I'll get the show started. I know some of y'all see me always drinking something red. It's no alcohol or no Kool-Aid or none of that crazy stuff. I don't see how anybody in this day and age could still drink Kool-Aid. All those dyes, they let you know that the dyes are crazy for you. Hibiscus tea. And I'm not trying to be preaching. I'm just saying why I don't indulge in stuff like that. Yeah, let me give it a couple of seconds for people. It's not, let me see. What time is it? Got 3 minutes before 3 o'clock. Some people come in 3 o'clock or they come in late like they always do. It's crazy. Some people come in like literally when the show is about to end. And I try to get them probably about 10 or 15 minutes of of my presence, of the show, because I hate for people to I hate for people to come to the show and then I'm ending the show right then and there when they came. So I'll give them probably about 15 minutes. Couple of guys, I gave them hours, and that was crazy. Like when Jay MMA came on late, and then he wanted to do an interview with Beast, that show turned into almost 7 hour show. Yeah, give me a second, y'all. I did a lot of advertising today. Hopefully I have a full house today. I went on almost all social medias and I advertised this show. Well, promoted this show. Advertising and promoted. Right, give me a second. Let's see. About to be 3. checking my phone. All right. Let me see. I'm clapping my hands, and that jumps reminds me of Oscar De La Hoya when he be doing that jump. I don't want to take nothing from him. Oscar De La Hoya. He was a disappointment because I expected him to be. I guess me looking at Oscar De La Hoya in his career, I thought it was gonna make him. That's the person he was going to be, because Oscar De La Hoya always seemed like he was humble and quiet. Now he's like, this character he's portraying. I don't like it. But to each his own. I can't dictate how somebody act or behave. All right, so I'm gonna start off with this. It's basically talking about all right, let me start it off. Boxing doesn't get misrepresented because fans complain too much. It get misrepresented because the people closest to the sport refuse to take ownership of how it's portrayed. And when I'm saying that is, boxers and boxing don't really get involved with boxing video games. They get scanned, they say a few things, and they step away from it. They don't make sure that their characters are portrayed right, and they don't make sure that it looks like boxing and feel like boxing. When they pick up a controller, like, yo, that's boxing. Wow, that look realistic. They don't do that. Other sports do it. Boxing doesn't. And that's the sad part about it. All right. Boxing is the only sport that dismisses its own fans. Boxing is the only sport that dismisses its own fans. You don't hear this excuse in basketball, football, soccer, baseball, or even MMA anymore. I never heard it in any of these sports. A lot of these companies always went and got historians of each sports. I know with basketball, I'm not a massive basketball fan, and I'm low key, almost casual. But I know that the people that's on the 2K team and the people that was on the EA team, they had some basketball players in input. Even though with EA, they still was gonna put that arcade spin on it, that hybrid spin on it. But with 2K, they have a lot of basketball players in a studio, and they have coaches input. All right. Those sports understand something boxing still avoids. Video games are cultural records. When NBA players criticize ratings, animations, tendencies, or play styles, no one says, relax, it's just a video game. And that's what gets me mad about this community, more so than any other community. They always run and say, it's just a video game. It's just a video game. And I'm seeing people, I see them complaining about other things. What happened to that? It's just a video game. Y'all want people that know the sport to be quiet, so your casual mentality can be implemented. That's what it seemed like. You want people to be quiet that loves the sports, that's passionate about the sport. And it seems like a lot of these people are mad because they're not as passionate. We all want the same thing, a great game. Well, some of us do, because some of y'all just want an arcade fighting game. An arcade fighting game. A fighting game and a boxing game are two different things. All right. When NBA players criticize ratings, animations, tendencies, or play styles, no one says, relax, it's just a video game. They say, if it's wrong, fix it. In boxing, the response is, stop complaining. That's not humility, that's avoidance. Boxing games are not played by kids with free time. Boxing games are not played by kids with free time. This is one of the biggest lies holding the genre back, because boxing game fans are adults who grew up on classic sports games. Classic sports games. Longtime boxing fans, they're former or current boxers, trainers, coaches, historians. And I know a lot of you say, nah, older people don't play video games. You're an idiot. All of y'all idiots who say that. Y'all idiots if y'all say former and current boxers don't play video games. You're idiots. Trainers, coaches, and historians don't play video games. You're an idiot. Or you ignorant. I think ignorant would be the better word to say than idiot, because ignorant means you really don't know. But trainers, coaches, and historians, there are trainers, coaches, and historians who play video games. I know it's hard to believe, but a lot of them my age are older. They came up with video games. No, they didn't play video games competitive like a lot of people do, but they came up with video games. Why should they be excluded from playing video games? That's more sales. Boxing game fans are gamers who expect systems, not button mashing. And when I say button mashing in my post, I do not literally mean button mashing, because buttons they have they need to be in the game too. Everybody should have an option. You should not, it's like telling somebody how to punch in real life. If they chose to use buttons or sticks, that's their style of punching. That's why I be trying to tell people when I be talking to them, no, everybody should be using the sticks. You can't tell nobody how to fight. You should be telling the developers, make the sticks more reactive as the buttons. That's on you. These aren't casual players stumbling into a free-to-play title. They're paying customers who care about authenticity. When they speak up, they're not whining. They're protecting the sport's identity. Representation matters more in boxing than any other sport. Boxing isn't just a game on the screen. It's history, it's culture, it's legacy, it's identity. A boxer's stance, rhythm, defense, tendencies, and ring IQ are who they are. When a video game flattens styles, removes nuances, makes everyone move the same, turn legends into skins, they are not gameplay choice. That's erasing what made boxing special. Other sports fight against that erosion. Boxing shrugs and say, boxers saying it's just a game undermines themselves. Boxers saying it's just a game undermines themselves. Here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. When boxers dismiss video games representation, they're indirectly saying their style doesn't matter. Their craft can't be translated. Their uniqueness isn't worth preserving. That mindset is exactly why now fans struggle to understand styles. Casual audience think boxing is boring. Games fail to teach boxing fundamentals. A great boxing game should educate and preserve, not dilute. Fans speaking up is a sign of love, not hate. If fans don't care, they wouldn't analyze footwork. They wouldn't debate tendencies. They wouldn't demand realism. They wouldn't ask for death. Silence is apathy. Criticism is engagement. Other sports learned this years ago. That's why when Steel City says this is our first game, but why didn't you look at the games that came before you, the sports games that came before you? My thing, you keep using that, it's our first game, and fans say it too. It's their first game. Shut up. We know it's their first game. When EA made Fight Night Knockout Kings, it was their first game. When the company that made Victorious Boxers, it was their first game. When all these indie developers are making their games, it's their first games. But you're giving Undisputed, a company that made over $100 million off of y'all, an excuse. No excuses. No excuses. I'm not giving no excuse to nobody. As an adult, boxing needs to stop being defensive and start being accountable. Let me read. Hold up. I'm going to pause right there. Boxing needs to stop being defensive and start being accountable. Now, let me go and see who's in the live. Who's in the YouTube chat. What's up, Precisely? I appreciate you popping in. Salute. All right, boxing needs to stop being defensive and start being accountable. The solution isn't silencing fans. It's inviting the right voices into development. Boxers, trainers, historians, analysts, style-focused gamers, not influencers chasing clips, not excuses about budgets, not it's hard. Every other sports figured it out. Every other major sport figured it out. When boxing says it's just a game, what it's really saying is we don't want to confront how poorly you're represented. When boxing says it's just a video game, what it's really saying is we don't want to confront how poorly we're represented. Fans aren't asked for perfection. They're asking for respect. And until boxing stops dismissing the medium, boxing video games will keep failing the sport they've claimed to celebrate. All right, let me move on to my other. That was something I made separate from my main script. All right, give me a second, y'all. Let me see. All right, here we go. Arcade mentality versus boxing reality. What some fans really want. What's good, everyone? I'm starting because I was reading that, but this is how I do my show. It's like somebody talking in a movie, and they like the movie started, but they didn't do the intro. This the intro. Art. Okay. What's good, everybody? The more I listen to some of the loudest critiques of Undisputed, the clearer something becomes. And it's uncomfortable for a lot of people to hear. All right. Respect to everybody that's here, and shout out to everybody that's going to listen to this later. This is Poe and the Community Speaks. It's a place where everybody could come and be heard. You could come here and be on the in the chat, and I'll talk to you in the chat on YouTube. But also have the talk show. Talk show, you could actually be on the show. You could speak and be heard, literally be heard. You could be visual or you could be off camera, but you can still be heard. And I'm trying to build up my interviews because I want to interview more people, you know, in the community. It's not it don't have to be a developer or anybody with, you know, with major experiences. You know, I would love to have developers on the show. I would love to have anybody in the industry on this show. I would love to have Will Kinsler on the show to debunk what we're saying. That will make an incredible show because I already got my questions and I already have my debunks to whatever he's got to say, and that's crazy. I know. Too much time on my hand. I know. All right. A lot of these voices don't actually want a boxing simulation. They want an arcade game with a. Let me read this over so y'all could get context to what I'm talking about. What's good, everyone? The more I listen to some of the loudest critiques of Undisputed, the clearer something becomes. And it's uncomfortable for a lot of people to hear. A lot of these voices don't actually want a boxing simulation or realistic boxing game. Because when people in simulation, they take that whole word and they like go over the top. They didn't get the eye drops, the sweat around the eye right, or you know, people be nitpicking on purpose. They try to be the most extreme as possible, so you can stop talking about a realistic boxing game, a realistic sim boxing game, and they know you're not asking for the extreme. They ask for the extreme. They should put it so you can smell the person. Man, shut up. Yo, y'all really weird. All right. A lot of these voices actually really don't want a simulation. They want an arcade boxing game with a realistic skin slapped on top. And that's fine. But let's stop pretending it's something else. Every voice matters, but not every vision is the same. Let's be clear up front. Every voice should have a say in a sports video game. Casual fans, competitive players, offline players, online players, boxing purists, gamers who just want fun. And that's the thing right there. See, this is a word I gotta address it right now. Fun. When people be saying something is fun, you can't dictate what is fun to somebody. Like people, like when you get a casual person, they be like, it's not fun. They want the developers to develop the game for what they feel is fun, not what everybody feel is fun, because realism is fun to me. When I was in a boxing ring fighting, that was fun. When y'all sitting in the crowd watching somebody getting beat up, that is fun to you. So you can't tell nobody what is fun. Everybody trying to be in control, try to be like a dictator. That's what fun should be. I don't do that. I want everybody to be represented. But I am going to step up and press up when you try to force us to be competitive player lovers, like you want us to want everything to be only for competitive players and only for online. I'm going to push up. I have to. You can't make me accept what you like. Nobody ever did that. So I'm not going to do it now. And I'm speaking for the people that thinks the way I think. Everybody matters. But here's the problem. Those voices are talking past each other. And some don't even realize what they're asking for contradicts the sport itself. It's a fighting game. It's a fighting game. Tell me it's a fighting game tells me everything. One of the biggest tells in this conversation is when someone casually says, at the end of the day, it's just a fighting game. No, that mentality alone explains everything about their expectations. Boxing is not designed around constant offense. Perfect symmetry, reaction speed, dominance, endless exchanges. I see some of the hardcore fans say that, and that's crazy that they be saying stuff like that. Combo first thinking. That's fighting game logic. That's Street Fighter logic. That's Tekken logic. Boxing is about space, position, patience, punishment over time, fatigue, psychological pressure, risk management, vulnerability. A lot of y'all be asking for vulnerability and y'all don't know what vulnerability is. A lot of y'all ask for vulnerability and y'all don't know what vulnerability is. And it's crazy. It's crazy to me. I'm like, hold up, what is they talking about? They keep asking for vulnerability. Do they know what it is? Do they really know what it is? When someone frames boxing as a fighting game, they're already asking the wrong question. And I know that goes over a lot of people's head. What do you mean when someone frames boxing as a fighting game? It goes over their head. Boxing is a fighting game. No, it's not. It's not at all. Fighting games and boxing games are different. Boxing is a sport. All the oversimplification crowd. Then there's another group. People claim to love boxing, but want to strip it down to its barest form. They'll say things like, why is stamina so punishing? Why can't I throw more punches? Why does footwork feel restrictive? Why does positioning matter so much? Because that's boxing. You don't get infinite output, perfect balance at all times, equal exchanges every round, constant highlight moments. Real boxing has boring rounds. It's up to you. It's up to you. But they can be boring. But it's up to you. The game should not be designed for you not to be able to control what you want to do. Hey, a round might be boring. You might be hurt. You might be down on your energy and you're trying to get your energy back up for the next round to rally. So you're going to fight in a boring way. That's realistic. But a lot of y'all don't know these things. Real boxing has ugly rounds. Real boxing has rounds where nothing lands. That's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. They hate the missing punches. If every punch should not land, especially if you're not in the right position or you're throwing it and the person moved out the way, it shouldn't automatically connect. Because he moved out the way, the punch, your hand should automatically follow him and connect. That's crazy. Real boxing rounds where one mistake changes everything. They had that in Undisputed. Oversimplifying boxing mechanics doesn't make the game more fun long term. It's just removes decision making. Let me see what you're saying in the chat. Nobody popped in yet. Everybody gonna probably wait till 6 o'clock and try to pile in here, but I'm gonna be off by 6 o'clock. Let me see. The over-extreme, over-designed for the sake of ego. This is for my people, or for the people that like to be extreme on purpose. The over-extreme, over-designed for the sake of ego. Now let's flip it, because the opposite extreme is just as damaging. There are people who want every punch to have 12 hidden variables. Oh, they getting on me because I want 12 hidden, variables. Every animation to be 1.1 real-time physics. Every mechanic locked behind layers of simulation. Every mechanic locked behind layers of simulation. Every match to feel like a thesis defense. That's not the answer either. A video game still needs readability, learnability, flow, player feedback. If the systems are so complex that only the designer understands them, you felt just as hard as the arcade crowd. You felt just as hard as the arcade crowd. The real problem, people want different games. Here's the comfortable truth. A lot of the loudest arguments aren't about Undisputed at all. They're about the fact that people want completely different boxing games, but they're arguing inside the same space. Some want a pick up and play boxing brawler. Some want a complex esports style system. Some want a deep offline sim. Some want a cinematic career experience. Some want a sandbox boxing engine. And instead of admitting that, they're trying to bend one game into satisfying all of it. That's not realistic. Boxing is a sport of constraints. Boxing isn't fun because you can't do everything. It's fun because you can't throw forever. You can't move forever. You can't defend perfectly. You can't make mistakes without consequences. A boxing video game that removes those constraints becomes something else, not worse, just different. But let's stop pretending it's still boxing. What the conversation should be. The real discussion should be, is it too realistic? Is this too slow? Is this too complex? Hold up. The real discussion shouldn't be, is it too realistic? Is it too slow? Is it too complex? Excuse me. It should be, who is this game being built for? It should be, what experience is it committed to? It should be, after the system's consistent No, it should be, are the systems consistent with that vision? It should be, does it respect the sport is representing? Once you answer those honestly, a lot of the noise disappears. All right. All right, now these are my deep dive points. Always got deep dives in my episode, deep dives and Q&As. The core misunderstanding what boxing, the core misunderstanding what boxing fun actually is. Talking point. Boxing enjoyment doesn't come from constant action, it comes from tension. Breakdown. The threat of fatigue changes decisions. The threat of counter slows the offense. The threat of being hurt alters posture, movement, and psychology. Long stretches of restraint make brief explosions meaningful. When players say nothing is happening, what they're really saying is, I'm uncomfortable being patient. That's not a decision flaw. It's a sports translation problem. Why arcade expectations clash with boxing systems? My talking points. Arcade logic assumes symmetry, arcade logic assumes symmetry. Boxing is asymmetric by nature. Breakdown. One boxer controls range, another reacts. One boxer pressures, another survives. One boxer pretend rounds. No, one boxer spend rounds downloading data. Arcade expectations demand equal engagement, constant exchanges, continuous input rewards. Boxing reality delivers unequal tempo, unrealistic risks. Boxing reality delivers unequal tempo, unequal risk, unequal control. Trying to equalize boxing removes its identity. The false simplicity argument. Let me see who's in here. Nobody. All right. The false simplicity argument. Talking points. Simple does not mean shallow, but oversimplification removes consequences. My breakdown. Removing stamina penalties encourages spam. Removing footwork penalties removes positioning value. Removing punch commitment removes risk. A boxing game without punishment loops become reaction-based, not decision-based. Why over-simulation can also fail. My talking points. Simulation must be felt, not explained. My breakdown. If players need to read a manual to understand why something happened, feedback failed, boxing systems should teach through cause and effect, not pop-ups. Death should emerge, not announce itself. The goal isn't realism, it's authentic consequences. Real divide, identity, not balance. The real divide, identity, not balance. Talking points. Most arguments aren't about tuning. They're about identity. My breakdown. Some players want expression through execution. Others want expression through decisions. These are fundamentally different design goals. One game can't fully serve both without compromising one side. Long form Q&A with rebuttals, no repeats. All right, these are my Q&As. Let me see anybody came in yet. All right, we got Mike Adams in the house. We got Mike Adams in the house. Appreciate you, Mike, for coming through. You saying good evening. What time is it? Okay. Why can't boxing games just be faster and still realistic? Because speed compresses decision windows. My rebuttal: faster gameplay removes the cost of mistakes, which boxing relies on. Faster gameplay removes the cost of mistakes, which boxing relies on. Isn't realism killing fun for casual players? No. Poor onboarding kills fun. My rebuttal: complexity without clarity is the problem, not realism. Why does stamina punish me so much? My answer: because output has consequences. My rebuttal: if stamina doesn't matter, pacing doesn't matter. Why can't I always move freely? Why can't I always move freely? Because balance, fatigue, and foot placement exists. My rebuttal: unlimited movement turns boxing into skating. Unlimited movement turns boxing into skating. Why does defense feel passive? Answer: because defense is in boxing is often restrained, not reaction. My rebuttal: blocking everything actively removes counter timing. Why can't I just outbox someone better? Answer: because boxing isn't combo dominant. Rebuttal: exchanges are earned, not forced. That's what a lot of people want. They want the game to force them to be better than what they actually are. No, you got to earn that. Why does positioning matter more than inputs? Because angles win fights. My rebuttal: inputs without context are arcade logic. Why does the game feel slow at high levels? Because high level boxing is calculated. Rebuttal: speed increases mentality, not visually. Why can't every fight be exciting? Because not every fight is. My rebuttal: artificial excitement devalues real moments. Why can one boxer dominate pace for rounds? Why can one boxer dominate pace for rounds? Because ring control exists. And that's what people fail to realize. They want an arcade game so bad, they want to take realism away from a game. Things that really happen in boxing. Why can one boxer dominate pace for rounds? Because ring control exists. My rebuttal: equal pacing removes strategic identity. Equal pacing removes strategic identity. Why does missing punches matter so much? Why does missing punches matter so much? Because energy loss compounds. Rebuttal: whiffs, punishments prevents button mashing. Whiff punishment prevents button mashing. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. All right. Why can't counters be more forgiving? Why can't counters be more forgiving? Because counters are situational. Rebuttal. Guaranteed counters break risk, reward balance. Guaranteed counters break risk, reward balance. Why does defense drain stamina too? Why does defense drain stamina too? Because tension costs energy. Because tension costs energy. Defense without cost becomes invincibility. But I don't think, me personally, being realistic as someone that boxed and watched a lot of boxing fights, everybody don't get tired holding their hands up. If you're holding them out like this, you're going to get tired. If you're holding out your elbows out like this, then you're going to get tired. You got your hands resting on your body. It's no reason for your arms to get tired. It's on your body. See, look, it's on your body. You're holding the weight on your body. So your arms shouldn't get tired. Now, the wear and tear on your defense, that's where it should drain. That's where everything should break down. The wear and tear on your defense. Why do some styles feel boring? Because restraint isn't flashy. My rebuttal: effectiveness doesn't owe entertainment. Effectiveness doesn't owe entertainment. Why can't all boxers play aggressively? No. Why can't all players play aggressively? Because styles clash differently. My rebuttal: force aggression homogenize boxers. They make them all the same. It just, you're forcing somebody to fight a way that boxer or that player doesn't wish to fight. That's where the strategy and stuff come in. That's when the chess come in. Everybody want the checkers, everything moving real quick. No, it should be on that player and you, the way y'all fight. If a person is just moving, he punching you and moving, you should have the mechanics. If the game is made correctly, you should be able to stop that person from running a lot, stop that person from not engaging. Even if a referee is in the ring, you still should be able to stop him from doing the things that he's doing that annoys you. But everybody is lazy in real life. They want everything to come to them. They want to be in control of everything. To them, when somebody moving away, they're in control, even though you're not touching them. You feel they're in control. I got to have control at all times. If I can't touch them, I'm not controlling them. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. Why do realism favor patient players? Because patience is rewarded in boxing. My rebuttal: impulse-based systems favor arcade play. Impulse-based systems favor arcade play, not patience. Why not let players ignore footwork systems? Because movement defines offense and defense. My rebuttal: ignoring footwork removes spatial strategy. Why do hurt states limit control? Why do hurt states limit control? Because being hurt removes precision. My rebuttal: full control while hurt is fantasy. Full control while hurt is fantasy. But some people think that you're supposed to move slow in every hurt state. That's not true. It depends on how hurt you are. They're like, oh, I hurt him, and he's moving fast. He shouldn't be moving fast. No, every hurt state doesn't have the same movement. Every hurt state should not have the same movement. That shows how much people watch boxing, how much a boxing fan they are. It shows how much they play arcade fighters, arcade fighting games. Let me see. Why can't skill overcome fatigue? Why can't skill overcome fatigue? Because biology doesn't scale infinitely. Because biology doesn't scale infinitely. My rebuttal: fatigue equalizes even elite boxers. Fatigue equalizes even elite boxers. People think because you're a major boxer or a skilled boxer that there shouldn't be no much fatigue. You should be able to do more as a boxer, but it still go with your stamina. Because that's one thing that I say. If it's offline, boxers should almost have their realistic stamina. It should be a trait that has the tendency to gas out in the late rounds. There should be a tendency. Boxer get tired in the middle rounds and then get a speed burst. There should be tendencies like that, or a trait. Offline. Why does realism divide the community? Because players want different games. My rebuttal: design clarity reduces conflict, not compromise. And that's the problem with Steel City. They're being deceptive. They try to make it so, hey, this game is designed for the hardcore fans. That's how they did it. That's how they got those million sales. They're not going to do that. I don't think they're going to get that off a second time around. Because everybody thought the game was a realistic sim, a realistic boxing game. And that trailer showed realistic boxing mechanics. All right. Let me see. All right. Some more deep dive questions. All trainers, when people say all trainers think alike, a lot of people think that all trainers think alike is a debate crutch. One of the weakest debate tactics in boxing game discussion is when someone says or implies all boxing trainers would agree with me. That statement alone tells you the argument is already broken. Why this argument is this? This isn't about boxing knowledge. It's about authority laundering. Instead of saying, this is what I want from the game, exactly. Instead of saying, this is what I want from the game, they say, this is what trainers want. Why? Because it shields the argument from criticism. If you challenge them, you're no longer debating a player, you're debating boxing itself, according to them. That's not confidence. That's insecurity in the argument. Trainers disagree on almost everything. Trainers disagree with almost everything, 100%. I know for a fact, as a person who trained boxers, as a person that boxed. There is no unified trainer philosophy in boxing. Trainers disagree on offensive volume versus patience, inside fighting versus range control, early pressure versus late reads. Give me a second. Body work timing, wrist tolerance, foot placement, guard usage, when to rest, when to push, how much freedom a boxer should have. Some trainers want you to throw all night. Others want you to throw nothing unless it's clean. Some punish mistakes harshly. Others let boxers work through them. So when someone claims trainers agree, they're exposing that they've never actually studied boxing culture. They just cherry pick validation. Why this is especially dangerous in game design. When a single player claims trainers think one way, what they're really pushing is one pace model, one stamina philosophy, one control scheme, one interpretation of realism. That leads to homogenization of boxers, flattened styles, systems that favor one mentality, a game that feels right to one type of player and wrong to someone else. That's how sports games lose depth. All right, I got some more Q&As. Let me see what the chat looking like. We got two people, and Mike Adams, and we got Mike Adams, and we got Precisely. Appreciate both of y'all for coming through. Hold up, I got 9 people that voted on my poll, but I only got 2 people in the chat. Let me see who ghost watching. 33 people. All right. All right. Q&As. I got some more Q&As with rebuttals. Trainer Myth Edition. Don't trainers want boxing games to be more accessible? Some do, some don't. My rebuttal, accessibility to learn isn't the same as accessibility to master. Exactly. Wouldn't trainers prefer faster, more exciting gameplay? Answer, depends on the trainer. The trainer. My rebuttal, many value control and discipline over excitement. Another question. Trainers wouldn't want stamina to limit players this much, right? Plenty would. My rebuttal. Stamina management is a cornerstone of real training. Stamina management is a cornerstone of real training. All right. Another question. Trainers teach aggression. So shouldn't the game reward it more? Answer. Trainers teach smart aggression. Rebuttal. Blind pressure gets boxers hurt in real gyms. Don't trainers hate slow fights? Answer. No, trainers hate dumb fights. My rebuttal. Slow doesn't mean ineffective. Trainers want boxers throwing combinations, not waiting. Answer. Trainers want clean combinations. My rebuttal. Volume without setup is amateur thinking. Volume without setup is amateur thinking. All right. Trainers would support footwork restrictions in games. Trainers wouldn't support footwork restrictions in games. Answer. Trainers constantly restrict footwork in training. Trainers constantly restrict footwork in training. My rebuttal, constraints build discipline. Aren't trainers about maximizing offense? aren't trainers about maximizing offense. They're about maximizing advantage. My rebuttal, sometimes that means not throwing. Another question. Trainers want players to always feel in control. Answer. Trainers prepare boxers for moments of lost control. Trainers prepare boxers for moments of lost control. Rebuttal. Hurt states are realistic, not punitive. Question. Wouldn't trainers want simplified mechanics? Answer. Trainers simplify teaching, not reality. Trainers simplify teaching, not reality. My rebuttal. Boxing is taught in layers, not stripped. Question. Trainers would hate players losing because of fatigue. Answer. Trainers built entire camps around fatigue. Rebuttal. Conditioning decides fights. Question. Trainers would also agree on how defense should work. Trainers will all agree on how defense works. Answer. Absolutely false. Rebuttal. Defense philosophy vary widely by gym and era. Defense philosophies vary wildly by gym and era. Question. Trainers want constant action to entertain fans. Answer. Trainers want wins. Trainers want wins. Rebuttal. Entertainment is secondary to survival. Trainers wouldn't like limitations on movement. Trainers drill movement discipline daily. Rebuttal. Freedom without structure is chaos. Freedom without structure is chaos. Question. So why do some players keep saying trainers agree with me? Because it ends debates faster. Because it ends debates faster. Rebuttal. Or at least they think it does. No single player speaks for trainers, boxers, boxing culture, boxing history. Using trainers as a rhetorical shield doesn't strengthen an argument. It exposes that it can't stand on its own. If you believe something about boxing, about a boxing game, say you want it. Defend it on design grounds. Don't hide behind a fiction consensus because boxing boxing game is built on differences, not agreements. Debate and debunk. Debate and debunk. Do you have to be a boxer to make a boxing video game? Open framing. One of the most common shutdown arguments in boxing game discourse goes like this. If you never box, you shouldn't be developing a boxing video game. It sounds reasonable on the surface. It sounds respectful to the sport. But once you actually examine it, the logic collapses completely. The core question, do you need to have boxed to understand boxing well enough to design a video game around it? Short answer is no. Long answer, boxing experience is valuable, but it is not a qualification, a requirement, or a substitute for system thinking. Why this argument exists in the first place? This argument usually appears when someone is losing ground in a discussion. Instead of debating mechanics, systems, design intent, trade-offs, they shift to identity-based authority. No, this system doesn't work because, but you wouldn't understand because you didn't box. That's not analyst, that's gatekeeping. Give me a second. Give me a second, y'all. Be right back. All right, give me a second. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Oh, y'all came in quick. The boxing therapist. Appreciate you popping in, y'all. Hit that like button. What's up, Poe? What's up, boxing therapist? In England it's 20. Okay. And you're gonna hit me with the 2057. You can't give me the regular numbers. All right. Kerr put on a clinic last night. Random thoughts, what's up? Salute. Kerr put on a clinic last night, but he still got Duck Devin. No, it's too many fights out there right now. I don't think it's a duck with Devin Haney and stuff. I think so many fights. Everybody want to, because who wanted to fight Devin Haney? Keyshawn Davis want to fight him. So that's not gonna happen with Shakur Stevens, I don't think. And Shakur, he calling out bigger guys. He trying to fight what's his name? Conor Benn. I think Shakur might fight Conor. Yeah, Ben for some good cash. He's welcome to come to England. Let me see. Random Thoughts say, yeah, he trying to fight Ben. More easy work. Nobody want no smoke with Haney. I think with Shakur and Haney, that could potentially be a boring fight. I thought this fight was gonna be boring, but no, Shakur made Teal feel like he was gonna run. Shakur was chasing Teal down. Shakur stayed in front of him all the time. And everybody says Shakur is a runner and he don't got punching. He can't punch, but Teal Face said different. Teal Face might tell you have a different conversation than what people be saying. All right. This is the I'm reading a script that I made for people that keep saying that you gotta be a boxer, you gotta at least been in the gym and stuff like that. You know, me, I like to be realistic about stuff. I would say that boxers should be in the studio 100%. Do the developers have to be boxers or had boxed, no, that don't make sense. That's not being realistic. It's not being realistic. Do you got to really go in the gym and experience what boxing is to develop it? That's not realistic. Yeah, Brizzo did it. Brian Hayes did it. Him and a couple of guys, Brian Hayes, but I think he was doing that before he even worked on a boxing game. Because when I went to England, for the I keep saying England. I went to Canada. I went to England when I really boxed, but I went to Canada. We went to a gym, and Brian Hayes, you could tell that he knows that gym. He trained there. He had workout gear. Let me see. I'm talking about boxing workout gear, not regular gear. He had boxing workout gear. All right, let me see. Debunk. This is my first debunk about you got to be a boxer to be a game developer or to say anything. All right. My first debunk. Boxing experience doesn't equal game design skill. Being a boxer teaches you how to box. How boxing feels, how training works, how fatigue affects you, how pressure changes decisions. It does not automatically teach system modeling, input abstraction, player feedback loops, balance across hundreds of matchups, accessibility versus depth trade-offs, edge case behavior, AI behavior trees, animation blending logic, latency compensation, competitive tuning. Those are game development disciplines. Those are game development disciplines. There are people that never box. They stayed in the gym all their life, but they've been in the gym. They never boxed or put on like they competed like professionally or anything, but they're good with data. It's people that could tell you how many punches that person threw, how unique he is with certain punches and stuff like that. There's people that's good at that. And those are people you need in a boxing studio. Those are people you need. There are historians. It's a guy, his name is James Trezone. I call him Jim Trezone. He wrote books on tendencies and different things about boxers. He made it his duty to pay attention to what boxers do. And I'm like, companies are waiting for him to die out to then try to say, hey, well, he died out, we can't use him. And I was telling Steel City early in development, Jim, you should grab Jim Trezone and put him in there with you. He can help you with a lot of things. Because he made a game. It was a tech sim, but he made a game. He can understand the mechanics of certain things. He would have been very valuable to a boxing game. He made it his duty to be a historian. But they letting him age out. Because I kept asking him, I said, yo, you should be a part of it. And he said, you know, I'm really about to retire from all of this and stuff. But he said, just for you, I would do it for you. He said, because you have so much trust. You always say great things to me. You have so much trust in me. He gave me a signed autograph book and everything. But he said, you have so much trust in me. You always believed in me. He said, I would do it for you. I would be a part of this team if they contact me. But did Steel City contact them? No. Every company, I asked a couple of companies to grab them. I asked EA when I was helping EA. They actually went up, him and his brother, they went up to EA, and EA didn't want them because they didn't want that realistic jump. And I'm saying jump because that's how they said it. They didn't want the realism. Whoever popped up, they made me freeze. You made me freeze. Who the heck is that? Let me see. Let me go to the talk show thing. You made. Oh, it's AJ. You made me freeze up. What's up, AJ?
It's me.
Yeah, what's up?
What's up, man?
Not much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting on this. I'm debunking that you got to be a boxer to be a developer. That's to me, that's crazy logic.
Say that again?
Somebody said, but I'm not gonna say no name. Said you have to be a boxer. You have to experience boxing to be a game developer. That logic doesn't make sense at all.
But there is truth in that. You're saying
But
that.
I'm debunking it right now.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, okay, look at me. I'm not a boxer, but the thing is, the boxer would have more. It's called tacit knowledge. They'll have that knowledge in their head that you need to extract in order to program it after. So there's truth behind that. It's the quality of knowledge that you're using to develop the game. You will get more quality of knowledge from the boxer than the casual.
Yeah, what I'm saying, actually development, but not as a consultant or something like that. That's different from actually being a developer, because every game that's made, they have they have the athletes in the studio, but they're not actually developers. Only 2K, they have actual developers that's helping with the development, but you don't have to. As long as you got that insight in there, you have people that knows the sport, not actually as developers, because is you're not going to find developers that's actually boxers. That's not going to never happen. Even with Brian Hayes, he went to the gym. He went to the gym to start working out and stuff like that, so he could, get a better perspective. But he was doing that before he even boxed. I mean, he even made a video game.
But when you say going to the gym to work out, what is he working out on?
Just boxing. Just like, as a get in shape type thing.
But that's not the same thing as, well,
yeah, but I'm saying he was in the gym. He was in a boxing gym. So visually, you're seeing what's going on. With Brian Hayes, he was a data guy. Because I used to be grabbing data, and he'd be like, "Paul, I got that," and he'd show me. He was a data guy. A person that, and people don't believe this, and this one thing that, I disagree with some of the so-called elitists that think they're like the all in all of boxing. You got people that never put a glove on in their life. Like what's called him? Emmanuel Stewart nephew. He didn't box, but he was there with him.
And he Emmanuel Stewart's his nephew who took over a Crunk? The guy who took over Crunk gym?
Yeah.
He never boxed?
I don't, from my understanding, I think I looked it up. He didn't box, but he was there. His uncle taught him. You could teach somebody to be a trainer.
Like Boo Boy.
Yeah, it's a lot of people like, that's not.
You know what I talk about Boo Boy? Manny Pacquiao, one of Manny Pacquiao's side trainers.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that guy ever boxed. Yeah. But I think by hanging out with Freddie Roach and them, I think he picked up what the routine was.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. They hang in the gym. We call them gym rats. They hang in the gym and they learn skills, like training skills. Because you could teach somebody to be a trainer. Because even me, if I was to go, because they want me to be a trainer, if I was to go back to be a trainer again, I will actually have to relearn different things. I'm not going to learn their styles, but, just everything of, dealing with people. Because I could teach you what I know and how I was taught it, but things evolved.
Oh, Poe, not to sidetrack, but later in the week, I'll send you some message on Discord. We'll start to move into the next phase where we're talking about for the survey. So
Okay.
over this month, I was working on a project on my own work project, right? So I just finished that over the weekend. So now, okay, now we can take a look. At last time we spoke about the survey, I believe was maybe, it feels like we last looked at it maybe September, October, when we were doing that first we were like we were doing a little development on it. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
So that's what's gonna. So this week we'll as we go on, I'll check it with you, and because we already have the first one. We have the first one and like almost complete. Well, it's just we have to kind of fix up. It's gonna be a series, but we'll talk about it more. That I don't want to sidetrack you on that, but just
Okay.
everything's looking good now on that end, kind of thing.
All right, that does sound good.
Because once we get that going, it's gonna be some the conversations we're gonna be having are gonna be fucking it's gonna change the dynamics of a lot what we've been talking about.
Yeah, that's good. All right. Debunk 1. Boxing experience does not equals game design skill. Being a boxer teaches you how boxing feels, how training works, how fatigue affects you, how pressure changes decisions. It does not automatically teach systems modeling, input extraction, player feedback loops, balance across hundreds of matchups, accessibility versus depth trade-offs, edge case behavior, AI decision trees, animation blend logic, latency. All right, go ahead.
So, but this goes back to what we were saying. The boxer has to be part of that team to work with the system developer to extract the tacit knowledge in order to convert it into what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So the thing is, what was the original thing we're saying, that we don't need a boxer as a system?
Said don't need no, they're saying that the person that's developing the game should be a boxer. That's not
Okay, I see what you're saying now. Okay.
Yeah.
It would be a good thing. I think that the quality of the game will be higher. You'll get a better product if you had a person who had those two skill sets. One being that they have their experienced boxer, and they also, and then on the side it's okay, they're also a computer guy then, right? They're like a computer thing. That's gonna give you a better quality of game. If you're lucky enough to find somebody like that.
Yeah.
But in your history, like, since you've been around all this time, like, have you seen that?
No, not that. No.
It's hard, I guess.
And my thing is, it's going to be a kind of a bias too, because some boxers, they like one style. Some boxers have that one style fits all mentality. So you want that guy working on your. That's when historians have to be in the studio too. You gotta have a historian.
Tale of the Tape is looking like that right now.
Yeah.
I looked at Tale of the Tape. I was looking at Tale of the Tape's latest video, man. In the beginning, I was liking what I was seeing, but now I just said, you know what? It just looks like it looks like another arcade game. It's an arcade boxing game.
I noticed that.
I remember you saw, but at that time I was so excited by it. But you know what? It clicked in my head when I was watching last night's fights. And this watching the two main events. What's his name? Who fought in the co-main event again? What's his name?
Keyshawn Davis and what's his name? Jermaine something.
So watching Davis and then afterwards, watching the Shakur fight afterwards. And then when I went to go look at Tale of the Tape, I said, okay, this is just there's no defense. They're basically showcasing a game with like there's no defense, nothing. It's just really good punch animations where you're seeing it's hitting and doing damage, and that's it. And reality is that game is basically if Steel City Inc. can't, like, if they're moving over to Unreal to do that. That's what Undisputed 2 is going to look like. And if Undisputed or if Steel City Inc. doesn't have if they can't hire the right people, they're just gonna they might as well just buy out that studio and bring them on board and start building Undisputed 2 from that, because they already have the foundation. But it's exactly like Undisputed. It's just an arcade game.
Yeah. Cause I was like, yo,
I was initially impressed with Tale of the Tape, and now I'm like, nah, I'm not seeing it anymore, man.
I saw it immediately, but I said I ain't gonna kill everybody joy. I said I ain't gonna say too much. I saw it. I'm like, what are they saying? It remind me of Fight Night Champion. I thought it was somebody modded Fight Night Champion.
You know what a lot of people are selling? They're selling it on violence. It's the deformity of the the deformity of the face you're seeing. That's their biggest selling point, I think, right now.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me. You're seeing that the face is really getting damaged. That physical damage you're seeing.
And that's that right there. And I hate when they say the violence part, they selling it off for that. And that's that's Steel City going to use. We can't make everything look too realistic because the violence part is gonna sensationalize it. Man, get out of there with that nonsense. And people believe that too. It's nothing that says that, because boxing, then they wouldn't have boxing matches. They'd be like, a certain age group cannot watch these boxing matches.
You know what I wish? I wish either I might do it or somebody else here is listening. If you could figure out how to take, so one of the biggest complaint right now since the patch with Undisputed is there's a style right now where like the guy's blocking every punch, but he's kind of leaning back. He's constantly always leaning back and doing all kind of like circular motion, all kind of weird. So it looks it kind of looks like somebody just kind of I don't want to say dancing, but he's just kind of hula hooping, it's like he's kind of running around hula hooping. Man, if somebody can figure out how to take that and use AI and try to apply it and try to make it into a realistic video to see how that guy looks like. What does this look like if you actually took that style and put it in a real ring? What would it look like? Yeah, and you know what happened? That might be the biggest selling point and breakthrough in boxing video game history. That if somebody says this is what we're trying not to replicate anymore, because this is what because if we take this in video game now, you see what it looks like on a real human. This is not actually happening in a boxing ring. Yeah, nobody fights like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But we're fighting like that in the boxing game because that's how you could win in this boxing game, because that's the way the environment is made up.
And it's funny because that's something that that's why I be saying people complain about the same thing in Undisputed that they're complaining about in Fight Night Champion, the hula hooping, the lean back, the spamming. Then with Fight Night Champion, y'all brought it over to the Fight Night Undisputed.
Nobody all the fights last night, I didn't see nobody. When we say lean back, like how can we describe it then? What is that? In Undisputed, are leaning back. How many degrees are they leaning back and hold it and then strike a pose? Lean back.
It's not that long, because if you go back that far, somebody gonna crack you in your body or you're gonna fall off balance. It's like real quick. I think Teal did it a couple of times. Shakur did it quite a few times, but he didn't do it so much that it keep him off. He would have been off balance.
I hope Shakur shut down a lot of the haters out, because he was walking down Teofimo last night. He walked him down, man.
Yeah, they're not because they already made an excuse. They're trying to blame Teofimo, saying it was something. Nah.
No, he got a class, man. He couldn't hit him. He couldn't figure him out. He could not hit him, man.
No, he could.
He didn't know how to hit him, man. He couldn't do nothing.
Nope.
And Shakur was walking him down. Everybody was saying, "Oh no, Shakur, he's a runner. He's a runner." You know what I mean? He wasn't running. He was walking him down.
Yup. And look how his face looked all lumped it up on one side.
Oh yeah, he was fucked up. I remember. I think by the 8th or 9th when he bust open the guy's eye and it was just dribbling over the place, man. He was just beating him up.
Yeah, I think he could have stepped on the gas in the 8th round and stopped him. I think he could have stepped on the gas a little something. Cause it's like Teal at one point, it's like his father, like he's scared. His father's saying, "See it, bad corner. Everybody shouldn't be your trainer." His father's saying that he want to give them no direction. He's like, "What are you doing?" and stuff like that. That's not telling me no answers. I remember I had somebody do that to me in the boxing match. I'm going back looking for direction, and the Joker said, "Yo, man, you just letting them jab you." I was like, "Oh, sweat, that's all you gonna tell me?" All right.
After the fight, I saw he called out and he came. Conor Benn came out last night.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about that?
If Conor lose some of that weight to come down and fight him, it'll be a good fight. I think it'll be a good fight.
Because Conor he wanted the same rehydration clause that he gave when he fought who did Conor when Conor fought what's his name the other day?
Oh yeah, the other son.
Eubanks Jr. when he fought Eubanks Jr.
Yeah. But I want to see him fight Haney.
Who, Shakur?
Yeah.
I think he'll beat Haney, man.
Yeah, I think so too. But what's gonna want that fight? Keyshawn Davis want that Haney fight.
I want to see that fight too. I want to see Davis beat Haney.
See, to me, that'll be a good fight because you never know what Devin Haney will show up. And Davis sometimes it be a lax in what he be doing. Cause it seemed like Westcombe got hypnotized by him or something yesterday. I'm like, he's not even fighting. At some point, he just stopped, like he gave up a little bit. And boom, broke him down. Especially Joker coming back from a year, that ring rust, you right there, I would have jumped on that Joker. He been off for a whole year and a half.
But you know what's funny? Just watching Shakur, even if Undisputed was to bring Shakur into the game, I already know he won't be able to fight like him. All they're doing is they're copying the punch animation, but they don't know how to copy the movement.
Yeah.
How do you make I don't think maybe the closest they got was Ali. Ali in the game is like they got his movement down that you don't even have to use loot. Like they whatever they did, they studied Ali. But the rest of the boxers, I don't think I don't know how they unless I'm wrong.
No, Sonny Edwards did Muhammad Ali movement. I could see Sonny Edwards movement, even though a lot of people, because he's doing similar to what Ali did, but I could see Sonny Edwards. Once I realized it was Sonny Edwards, I can't take Sonny Edwards out my mind that's Sonny Edwards movement. And then when I look at Muhammad Ali movement, that's not Muhammad Ali movement.
But looking at the last two fights, how much loose footwork did we see?
What'd you say?
How much loose footwork did we see? This goes back to you saying not everybody does loose footwork.
I didn't see none last night. I didn't see none in any of those fights last night. It probably was there, but I didn't see none. I didn't see something that be like, hey, he doing loose foot movement.
What Steel City should have did was, I think it would have made more sense if you could. I think Claimer's getting close to that, but instead of changing, so basically you just be okay. There's regular movement and then there's loose footwork. That's almost like okay, you're kind of, I don't want to say stance, but maybe a boxing game should have. I want to say okay, what kind of stance do I want to use at this certain moment? That's what we should probably the boxing should be focusing on.
Yeah,
I think this goes back where I don't know your article. We were talking about that article the other day about weight transfer, weight distribution.
Yeah,
there's no such thing as we ain't seeing you. We have to assume that the boxers saying what the boxers 60-40, 60 on the back foot, 40 on the front, or maybe they're going 20-80. We can't, or they're going 28. Maybe they're trying to set up the pull counter or something, right? We can't do that in Undisputed. There's no such thing as a weight transfer. Or how you're standing. What are you doing? But do you think that's needed in a boxing game? Or we could get away without, or keep on going in that direction without having that kind of realism?
I don't know, man. They still City just be making me mad because it's like they're very limited to what they're doing. It's like on purpose. Everything they're doing is like on purpose.
Well, everything they're doing is really, I don't know why they do it. To tell you the truth, like, here's the thing. Yo, card boxing. He's looking for the link to come on the show.
Give me a second, because I want to finish reading my post, because I always in the show and I didn't finish my script. So let me read these Q&As and then I'll bring you on card boxing. Yeah, give me a second. All right, so my other debunk is debunk too. This standard applied to any other sport. Let's be consistent. Do developers need to play in the NBA to make a basketball game? Play in the NFL to make a football game? Be a professional driver to make a racing sim? Fly planes to make a flight simulator? Of course not. Sports games are made by researchers, analysts, engineers, designers, animators, AI specialists. Consultation is required. Participation is not. Debunk number 3. Boxing knowledge comes from many sources. Boxing understanding comes from film study, trainer interviews, historical analysts, biometrics research, sports science, commentary breakdowns, statistical modeling, pattern recognition over decades. Many historians, analysts, and trainers never fought professionally, yet they understand boxing better than most boxers ever will. Experience is one lens, not the whole picture.
So one thing I want to go. So the part you mentioned about gaining knowledge from like doing film study, right?
Yeah.
There's a flaw in that.
Why?
And I don't. Well, the flaw is this. So for me, example, I could sit down there and it could be whatever the top. It could be boxing. It could be judo. It could be whatever combat sport it is. And I'm sitting there, I'm watching film, I'm watching technique, I'm watching this, I'm watching strategy. But the thing is, if I don't go and actually go into the gym and apply it, if I don't get that opportunity to apply it, it's all bullshit. I have to go in the gym and now attempt it. Because the thing is, on paper, it looks like it's the difference between seeing something on paper, but then what's the word? Applied. It's like you're applying it now. There's a way different learning curve now when you actually have to go and say, okay, let me test this out now. It's way different. And a lot of people, like I said this, a lot of casuals, they'll sit there and they could look at all the boxing training videos and whatever you want to look at, and then in their head they think okay, I'm a boxer, but they haven't even stepped in the ring once yet, and even had one round of sparring to know what are the limitations here and why this doesn't work. It's a whole different ballgame once you actually try to apply it.
No, but that goes back to what we were saying before. If a person been in the gym like Emmanuel Stewart nephew, if you there like experience, you like literally experiencing, you there every day, you're being taught the thing. If you're watching film, if you're an artist,
he's still in the gym. He's at least in the gym. I know, but somebody be on YouTube, the YouTube people could be the biggest frauds out there, man.
Oh yeah, because their mindset already is a casual mentality.
Yo,
But if you're going in the gym and you're like, really, that's what you want to think of the artist. This is what an artist does, and this is what a director does. A director, he can make a movie with murder in it. That don't mean he's going to commit a murder. He know what he saw. He know what he see. He know what he wants to make. That's the same thing, because a game is basically you're making a movie that a person is interacting with. So you're taking a vision. Like when I'm an artist, I do paintings and everything. When I do the painting and stuff, it's what I see. I might add some extra, but it's what you see. A lot of these casuals, they look at stuff and they thinking about what they can add to make it more accessible to them, to make it more comfortable for them. That's what a lot of casuals do.
I think a lot of the casuals, it's if we just run off they're just studying YouTube film, a lot of casuals are just delusion, straight up delusion, until they actually go in the gym and actually apply what they're doing and figure and see if it and see how, especially too, to see how everybody's body is different too, to see if you can actually apply it with your body and your mechanics, everything, how much you weigh, all that shit comes into thing.
Yeah, that's a deeper film, but film studies, that's part of the whole thing. But you still need that film study. Even trainers, they do film studies on boxers when they about to fight them and stuff. So film study is very important.
Okay. No, I'm not saying no. I ain't saying not to do it, but I'm just saying you could have somebody, for example, Undisputed. They probably suffer from that right now. They had a bunch of people that just watch the films. They're watching boxing, but because they don't have that, you see that because they didn't actually step in the ring, they don't have that tacit knowledge to know how to apply it.
Like I'm gonna say something that is gonna make people mad, but that because somebody they had like 1 or 2 amateur fights or something like that, or you're not outspoken, you can't be the voice in the studio for a boxing game. Like they say, CB said he had a couple of fights. I know he trumping up a lot of his stuff, a lot of his information about him being an amateur boxer and all that. I know he's trumping it up. With me, if I would have went to those fights last night, I would have got in for free, and a lot of people would have knew me from the older generation of boxers. But him, I'm not sure. Probably in the UK, yeah. But people know me. They like, hey, all right. Even if they don't know me, they say, hey, he's a boxer. Shannon Briggs know him. Shannon was there last night. He know him.
I think when CB, the only time I ever saw CB, not even boxing, but just kind of like they were doing some I think they were doing focus mitts. I think him and Box Eyes. CB didn't look crisp.
Yeah.
Sloppy.
Yeah, but it don't seem like he got a voice. Like, I'm 100% sure if I was a part of the team, like in his position, I would be more vocal. But he's just happy to be a part of the team.
But he's part of the team I think he's a social media man. Social media.
Yeah, and
they're really not picking his head for knowledge.
But you supposed to push, even if you got other duties, like with me, I had different duties, but I still was stayed in the developers' ears when I was helping EA. I stayed in their ear, even though they probably didn't listen to me because they already told me, hey, EA want the game made a certain way. No matter what you tell me, hey, the ideas sound great, phenomenal, but they want me to make the game a certain way.
Yo, the right now the best box, if we're talking about best pure box game out there, it's freaking it's Bloody Knuckles Boxing, man. That guy, what's his name again? The Love C Shorty. He's doing, from what I see, man, he's the best out there. The only thing is that he needs to get a new freaking gaming engine, man. He needs to get to the next level, man. What he built, to me that is the best boxing game out there. But it doesn't have the flair of Undisputed, or it doesn't have the flair of Tale of the Tape.
Yeah.
But he's doing it, man. Like that is the best. That's the best we have out there, man.
Yeah. I think he messed up early, and that like came back and bit him in the butt. Because I think he could have got the right people behind him and stuff.
His vision is the best. Like he has the best vision right now. Fuck.
Yeah. All right. Debunk number 4. Boxers often struggle to explain what they do. This is uncomfortable but true. Elite boxers often, operate on instinct, can't articulate timing decisions, don't consciously track foot placement, feel rhythm rather than define it. Game designers requires explicit logic, repeatable rules, predictable outcomes, quantificational systems. Because being great at something does not mean you can translate it into code. Debunk 5. Boxing games are systems, not reenactments. A boxing video game is not boxing. It is representation of boxing through controllers, animations, state mechanics, probabilities, input windows, camera logic, constraints. Your job is not to recreate the sport perfectly. Your job is to recreate decision pressures authentically. That requires designers, engineers, AI specialists, UX experts, not just former boxers. Where boxing experience does matter. This is important.
UX specialist.
Yes.
EA and 2K, they do a really good job at that.
Yeah.
But the only thing I could say why is because they're at a more advanced stage of their game development. That they basically have they have the core of the game already, the core gameplay. So now they're focusing on presentation, user interface, and such as.
Yeah. Yeah, 100. All right. Where boxing experience does matter. This is important because the counter argument isn't useless. Boxing experience is extremely valuable for validating feel, spotting unrealistic behavior, catching immersion, breaking moments, advising on training logic, advising on ring psychology, identity that would never happen moments. But that role is consultant, testers, advisors, subject matter experts, not sole authority. The real ideal team, this is the key point. The best boxing video game teams include designers who understand systems, engineers who understand constraints, animators who understand motion, AI programmers who understand behaviors, boxers and trainers who understand the sport, historians who understand errors, analysts who understand tendencies, not one type of person trying to do everything. All right. Let me see what's going still here. I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put the give me a second. All right.
What's up, Aloha Bama? He says, I stopped playing. The AI knows what you're doing before you could do it. Yeah. Well, undisputed difficulty level, it's like I don't even think it's the AI. No, I think it's just basically a CPU that's superhuman at that point.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I had an argument with somebody. Their thing is they want everything to be what they want, not what you want. And you supposed to build your way up to liking what they want, and that's not me. My thing is we should have options, not just what you want.
Yo, that's what Undisputed Mod's turning into.
Yup.
That's what it's gonna turn into. Well, that's looking like it already. Because if have you ever had a sit down conversation with that guy yet
Mm,
to pick
no,
your brain?
no.
No, no. There you go. That's the mistake he's making right there. And that's this is what I'm saying. Like you have to work with boxers on the team, man.
Yeah. What's up, card boxing?
What's going on, good brothers?
All
Hey,
right.
boxing, what's going on?
I'm let you finish up your thing, man, before I even open my mouth.
No, we good. I paused. Did you know you go ahead?
No, I was gonna just say that I didn't get a response back to you with that document because
Yeah,
I was saying you yourself could come up with yours, and then because I was saying you can highlight, like you can take the document, highlight it, your concerns. I forward it to my attorneys and have them look at it, or you come up with your own. I look at it and forward it to my attorneys, and then they can fix it up. So, but a lot of stuff pre when I gave you my number, it wasn't to be. I could just tell you my journey as far as what these developers are talking about or what they've been doing, but not. I can't go in sensitive detail about what I'm doing. So that was what that was, man. That ain't. As far as somebody trying to do you dirty, that would only happen if I shared my information and then, well, he did this. And because here's the thing, my thing is the only reason I have a document, and the document's supposed to cover like if a person's walking in a room and me and you talking, so that's why it's kind of got him, her, them, the, whatever the case may be. But my thing is I don't want to, people always talking about lawsuits and stuff, you suing people. Man, I ain't trying to go through that headache right now, and I'm trying to do this thing in the beginning. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let's deal with, let me get the game launched, make some money, and then if I want to waste time, but before I even get things developed, I got to be fighting cases or suing people. I don't want, man, that stuff takes time.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, because I told when Ash Habib, when he because he used to talk to me in the beginning of his development of Undisputed. And I thought we was becoming friends and stuff, and he was telling me everything. And I was like, Ash, you can't tell me everything. I said, you are a game owner. I said, you telling me everything. I'm pretty sure you telling other people everything.
No, I didn't. That's why I don't. People don't even a lot of our personal people I know. They don't even know. They just know I'm doing it. I share what's already out there. And I do have quite a few protections, but the thing is, like I said, a person can create what I'm doing, right? Mm-hmm. And have it out there. Okay, you send them a cease and desist letter, you do the lawsuit stuff. Okay. And then if they go broke and they ain't got no money, okay, what good is my lawsuit? I just sued you. What is that? Yeah. But at least if ahead of time I put certain protections in place, like NDAs and stuff, I'm good. But like if we had talked on the phone, it was just going to be, man, I had met these developers and they were saying this and they were saying this couldn't be done. So I didn't want to be taking up no show talking about my thing and my journey and my all that. Why you trying to talk about game, even though it is about a game. So when you were like, well, I've been burned. Well, first of all, I can't burn you if I ain't telling you nothing. But we just have a regular conversation. You see what I'm saying? So that's all that was, brother.
Yeah, I was just because when it comes to putting your name on something or your information, stuff can be extracted because you literally signed your name and stuff. And the way
all you doing is really listening what. Like I could have had you in the meeting Friday, and you could have been listening, and then you could have been saying it's just kind of like an advice. But I know there's some people say, well, if I do that, you got to pay. Well, I ain't at that point yet. Now we can definitely sit down. We could definitely sit down and structure something once But I'm trying to, right while I'm trying to make this decision on these developers. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. That's why I was looking kind of at you, and then I don't want to say too much about the other person that what I said. Okay, never mind. I don't want to deal with it. Yeah. Because I was like, that'll go way left.
Yeah,
that'll go left real fast,
real quick.
Yeah. So I was like, nah, I saw that. No, thank you. I'm good, man. I'll deal with you. And then was it AA? I mean, yeah, same thing. I mean, you guys seem like level-headed brothers.
I was busy this last week, so now this week I'm gonna read over everything and then I'll make a decision.
Yeah, it's no pressure, man. Like I said, I take it very seriously. My mother said, "When the Lord blesses, no sorrow." I ain't trying to hound nobody. I mean, I pretty much think I got a good idea of how this should look because I'm real picky of a lot of games out there. Not even trying to put mine on a pedestal. It's just that I see kind of it's the same. A lot of these games are the same, you know what I'm saying? The way I look at it, especially with Undisputed and Fight Night, So, and I've been, like I said, been into boxing games because boxing's been my love since a little bitty kid. But go back to Activision when they had that boxing game on Atari. That's in 1980.
Yeah. I played
it. Me too.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was like, what, 19 years old, man? Come on, man. I mean, then that was when that came out. And before then, I had the Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier boxing playset my aunt got me in 1978. I had that boxing playset. It wasn't a game; it was a playset. And people don't even remember when Muhammad Ali. A lot of these guys wouldn't even know that Muhammad Ali had a cartoon that came out in the 70s.
Yeah. What you said was a playset?
Yeah, it was an actual playset. You can look it up on eBay. Because for years, when after mine got lost, my mom and then was trying to find it. My aunt was living in Buffalo, New York at the time, and she knew I loved boxing. So she had sent that to me one Christmas. Man, I played with that. They played that. And then I don't know, I was over somebody's house, and I forget what happened. Pieces came up missing and stuff like that. And for years, my mom kept trying to find another, but the company stopped selling them and all that. But yeah, they have them on eBay, but it would cost you some money to get it.
Boxing ring Mingo playset with figures.
Yeah, it had the boxing ring, it had figures, the apparel wear, all that stuff. Just like the picture Ken like the Barbie, but a boxer.
Okay, I see now. I have it now. I see now. I found it. Holy shit, man! Somebody's selling it for almost $900.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You would have to pay a pretty penny to get that. My question: do you have all the pictures? Man, I'm telling you, for most of that, for a good portion of to the mid 80s, my mom kept trying to find that thing. She and I was like, man. And then I think it's Upper Deck or some top. I have to go look at the thing, but because I found one with my youngest daughter's mother. We happened to be in Toys R Us shopping for the kids, and I remember she saw that and she said, "Boy, you grinning ear to ear." I bought it, right? Muhammad Ali boxing doll. They had made it, I think it's like 99, 2000. And yeah, I bought it. Yeah, and I still have it. I still have the doll. But they made that. So
I'm a collector. I'll be trying to collect stuff like that, like the Flair. Because I feel like I got Flair and all of them because they stopped making boxing cards. Because I used to contact
you brought it back.
Yeah, because I kept telling them. And I got the emails too. That's one thing I keep in case somebody say that no, you didn't say nothing to me and you didn't do that. Not to like be that person, be like to hold something. But if you like literally say, hey, you didn't say anything. Because people like saying that. You didn't say anything. Flair, I remember I said, yo, y'all should bring boxing cards back. Boxing is getting popular again. I contacted like 5 different companies that used to make cards back in the day. I remember that. Because when I was boxing, I was like, I can't wait till I'm on the card. Because one of the guys, his name was Clarence.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. And that's why I was saying with my game too. Sorry, bro, I didn't mean to cut you out. As soon as you said that, my emotions got going with that. Because that's why I was saying they could have took my game, put my card game, my actual physical card game. I remember talking to Kenny Bayless about this. They had got him to come to lunch and stuff like that. And so we sat down at a restaurant and I said, And that's when when I was telling you guys the other day, or telling you, Poe, I don't know if AA was on here. I said they could take my game, put that same advertisement they're using on the T-shirts and fight programs and stuff, put it on the back of the playing cards. Yeah. People can have a boxing game and a souvenir. He's like, that's a really good idea. So he put me in touch with the person at the MGM Grand that handles their marketing. But of course, there's all this big licensing fee. And I'm like, man, I ain't got that kind of money right now.
Yeah, all you could have got that off because that's promoting their brand.
Look, my boy Antoine Echols sent me. He flew me out when he was fighting Charles Brewer. And I was sitting down with Kathy Duvin talking to her. I can show you emails while I was talking to people like that. What's his name? Lovemore Nadu from Australia, the African brother that used to box. He fought Cotto and all them guys. His manager, he was big time out of Australia. And I can show you emails back when me and I were questions. Like, he was like, at the time I had the same representative as Evander Holyfield, Jim Thomas. And he took me on. Of course, he was talking about 25% of any deals he cut. But anyway, which that's cool. I'm nobody, so until I make a name, then we can renegotiate. But anyway, he was saying to the guy that he would let him lock up Australia. He said, because I was telling him, as you can put Lovemore on there. At the time, the guy had a boxing website. I said, you can put your boxing website on the back of the playing cards, as a logo, and you can sell them all throughout Australia. You know what I'm saying? So I had been talking to people about, man, that's why I said there's a lot I could tell you. That's why I often phone, because we'd be all day trying to talk about all. Man, you'd be surprised. I got a beef with
I
guess I could say Jack Mosley, Shane's dad. Man, that dude made me. That dude. I thought he really was going to get behind me, and oh Lord, yeah, it's a story behind that, man. That hurt my feelings so bad. He didn't try to take me. It's just he stood me up really bad. Huh?
Why Australia? How do you
no, because the guy had he was a manager of fighters down there. He had Lovemore Nadu. I hope I'm saying his name, but Poe seemed like he know who I'm talking about. Yeah, and then he had he had their most popular boxing website. So that's what Jim Thomas was saying, we're not going to give you the rights to, license all over the world, but we'll give you the rights for Australia, right? Because you want to keep those avenues open, right? So it was like, okay, you can have Australia and you can get a percentage off of every, whatever, you just give us this percentage back off of the decks you're selling and stuff like that. So we were trying to do it that way where he would have control over that, just pay us a royalty. You know what I'm saying, at that time. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff I've done, man. But like I said, unfortunately I had some tragedy in my family. So I really took a step away from this about 10, 12 years. Well, 2012. And then when I was on trying to get back, my youngest started passing in 2020, and I just forget it. People that, that I just went in a dark place. So that's why there's this gap, in a sense. So
I saw that gap. I seen you disappear. I was like, something must have happened.
Yeah, that's kind of when my mother passed away, man. I just I don't want this now. I don't care. She ain't here to enjoy it. Then somebody was trying to talk me. That's why I said timing is anything, because I found out something else right now. I can't talk about that because I got to call my lawyer Monday. I'm happy about it because somebody was charging an arm and leg for this, and I was like, man, the price went down way down. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna have to get the rights to that. But so no, that just happened recently. I just saw that this morning, man. I was talking to the guy this morning, and I was like, so it just came to my mind and said, check this out. Go check and see if that's still at that price. And it wasn't. I was like, oh man. So I'm gonna jump on it, get a hold of my lawyers tomorrow. But anyway, like I said, man, yeah, that's all it is, man. I'm not that type of brother to be trying to burn and say you say it, because we wouldn't. We just talking. But if we're gonna get deep into my game, then that's what that is. But all that document is basically is protect. Like I said, you could be talking to me, and just like there's people listening here. You know what I'm saying? If everybody, if you're gonna be in the meetings, that protects you, that protects them, it protects me. It's just kind of like that. But if it's things you don't, then okay, I'll highlight it or come up with one of your own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go. We got 70 people that came through, so we don't know who popped up. That could
Well,
be.
is it because I popped on? Because you know my name is kind of I'm floating out there because I be everywhere.
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't saying I'm being funny, but no. At first we had like about eight to 10 people, and then all of a sudden now we got 70 people and popped up. So, you know.
Yeah, because the last couple of days my numbers been going up, especially when Beast was there. We got like 3,000 views, but
yeah, well, that you know that
it was buzzing, man.
Well, and I know why that was, but you know, I mean, I just truly believe sometimes your delivery can get lost. And that my mother used to say that to me. Yeah. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. You know what I'm saying? And I'll put it this way: you had two adult men talking to each other. Yeah, one was older, one was younger, but pride gets in the way when you. It's not what you say, it's how you saying something.
Yep. I learned that early. The way you say anything, if you want respect of somebody or you want something from somebody.
Right. You can't. I mean, it's just like my daughter, she's 30, she'll be 36 next month. Now, what I look like just snapping on her like she's a little kid anymore?
Yeah.
She respects me, no doubt, but I'm just saying, you can't, especially when your boys become men, man, you just can't be. I mean, you talk to them in a way where, if you getting on them about something, but to where they're still gonna respect you. But I can't be calling y'all out your name.
Yeah. Shoot, my son, he's 20. He'll be 26 this year, and I don't talk to him a certain way.
Yeah, he's a man now. It's not that. I mean, if you want to keep that respect, you got to think about your man. He's a man now. So he's, you know what I'm saying? And then he's basically, I would assume he's not under your roof. He's going through things too. So what if he's having a hard day? And then here you come, he's having a hard day as a man. And then now here you come talking to like him, like maybe somebody he just got done dealing with. Now you just amped him up.
Yeah.
You know, people talk about the Bible says you got to honor your mother and father, but they forget just right up under there, it says parents don't agitate your children. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? People leave that one out. You got to honor your mother and father. You're supposed to honor your elder, but it also saying don't agitate them. That's what it's saying.
Don't
you know what I'm saying?
It's basically don't trigger them.
Right. Don't trigger, because now you tempting them to do, to turn against you.
Yeah.
You know, at that point, at that point, people always say, well, I'm not your friend. In a sense, when they become adults like that, especially when they become mature adults, you are like a friend now. I mean, you're still their parent. You're still your parent, and they're going to look at you like that because there's certain things they will do and don't do around you because they still have their respect. But you are kind of a friend because now you can talk about anything with them.
Yeah.
I mean, when they're younger, people say that, but there's still stuff you still kind of keep away from your kids because you're going by their age, that they're not ready to learn. But when they hit adulthood, the doors open, everything.
Yeah.
You know, you get to talk about women's bodies and stuff with your older son. Yeah, man, she had a bad butt. Yeah, pops, you know what I'm saying? You get to do that man talk with them. You know what I'm saying? And joking and all that other stuff. So you look at some of the boxers, look at Floyd and his dad. It took a while for him to even get there. You know what I'm saying? Big Floyd, honestly, I think Big Floyd had to get there like, okay, my son's grown. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where he was bumping his, like, talking to him any old kind of way and all that. Now, man, you can't keep doing that now. You know, I'm talking about in public. Just, it gets to a point, you just can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta respect. He's a man now, and then that's what makes your kids respect you. I think Zab Judah was saying the same thing about his dad. Now they have the utmost respect for Yoel, but no, Yoel wouldn't be calling him all kind of P's and B's and
Yeah, that's the craziest thing. In my amateur days, I seen all these guys and their families. I seen the family tree. I seen Mayweather, and I seen Zab and his brothers, and I seen all of that. I'm like, Dad, going. Only back then, if I was like, yo, man, let me get your autograph just in case, stuff like that.
Zab, I sat down when I flew out to Antoine's fight. When Antoine flew me out when he's fighting Charles Brewer, that's the first time I've met Zav face to face. Matter of fact, I didn't even have an actual real deck. I had a prototype deck, but I had the stuff outlined, and I had just got my copyrights. I didn't have no. I was still waiting on my grant money, and I played it with Zav and Daniel and Yoel was checking them in, and then after they got checked, they went back to the room. But then after the fights, Antoine Allers and Malik Scott and Francisco Bajada and Jeff Lacey and a whole bunch of us, just a whole bunch of just hanging in the hotel lobby room, just chilling. And I was sitting down playing the game with Zab back then, and he said, "Well, let me know," and all that. So I mean, yeah, I've had a journey with this thing, man. I'm telling you, it's been
That's good.
a lot of things. Yeah. But I mean, everything takes time, man. I mean, timing is everything. Like I said, I didn't get back onto this till like October of 2024 because it did just that one thing. My partner's son said there's a barber in his barbershop, and that's what it took. And then other people started talking to me. So I've always had people say things, but sometimes it's not the right time, so it may not sink in. But then when they were saying, and I saw those brothers' reaction playing the game in the barbershop, I was like, you know what? I need to go in and get at this.
Yeah.
Get back into it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Hey,
what? So my thing. I want to ask you this: like, if you wanted real boxes on your card, isn't there a percentage you have to give them for each card?
Yeah, that would have been. Look, I talked to Ed Brofree. I was talking about Hall of Fame decks and stuff like that for every time, the people that get inducted and stuff. Yeah, they would have to get a cut. I mean, but right now, all that's fine. What I figure, I have to really build a what they call in the music, your niche or whatever. So I'm gonna build the fan base through this because it's easier to do it that way. And then if I want to focus on card decks, like I can hold live card boxing tournaments where people come to venues and just like they do with poker. You know what I'm saying? If you look, they got spades tournaments. I mean, people be showing up, and what draws people? The money. What's up for grab? That's why poker is so popular because you're taking everyday people and you're making them the celebrities. Basically, they're the center of attention. I looked at when you go to sporting events, whether it's boxing, football, baseball, basketball, hockey, those athletes are the center of attention. They're getting all this money, but you flip it. You say, okay, now these participants come to my event. I'm gonna put this money up, and they're competing for that prize pool, right? Now you got people because now they feel like they're part of something. I was saying that in Vegas when I was living in Vegas. I said that'd be huge the week of big boxing events, a card boxing tournament at some auditorium, some venue, man, and all the fans showing them and winning belts and all that, winning a belt and all this other trophy. Man, that would be big because what's going to draw them is that money up for grabs instead of paying athletes, $1 million and all that. I could put that up for grabs. $10,000, even $10,000. I mean, it's some stuff I can tell you locally that I was going to try to do around here. And I don't know, there's so much hate. And I hate when, our people do each other. Man, I tell you, we can be the worst. But anyway, yeah, man, there was a lot of things that I could have that I have to do. But that's why you saw in that article, I got rights to a lot of it's not just a game, it's a brand. So the game will actually, I can get into all that. I mean, I even got a movie script.
Wow.
See, people, that's what I'm saying. People don't really understand. It's real deep. It's just a matter of, okay, I got funding for this to make the game because that's the world we live in now. People don't sit down and play card games. You have to build something around, build like I'm doing now, and then people go, "Oh yeah, man, I play that game, and they having a live tournament somewhere." You know what I'm saying at this location.
Yeah.
Because I got invited to. They had something called Box Fan Expo, and it was going to be in the UK, right?
Oh yeah.
Back. See, now you know what I'm talking about. And the guys was like, we would love you to come on. We'll give you, and they weren't even going to try. They were going to give me a section. The problem is I was trying to get some people because, that's like, what, $5,000-$6,000 just to fly over there. I'm like, damn, I'm starting adding up. So I was talking to people, see if they sponsor me to go over there because they wanted me. But yeah, see, you know what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, I've been on a journey, brother. I've been on a journey. out of this world.
You should go when they over here because they be having it over here.
Well, no, it was different. The one you talking about is different. There was one in the UK that they were doing over there, and it was going to be at this big, a big place. I'm about the big some place over there, but no, you talking about the one here. But yeah, that guy's talking about all this, man. I'm not, because I'm not even. That's why I say some people.
Didn't I link y'all together?
No. I knew about all. See, that's why I tell people. There's a lot of stuff. I know because just like the games y'all talking about, I know about them games too. That these brothers is coming up with the games that y'all talking about. But was it Knuckle Box or I'm not looking at it right now. But you guys were just talking about the game.
Yeah, that's again Bloody Knuckle. Bloody
Knuckle, like that one, and then they got like 3 other ones that people are trying to launch. So I'm up on that. I have to be up on that stuff. When I got approved for my grant back in 2002, that was one thing that I had to do in order to get approved. Because first of all, what I'm trying to do is most grant programs don't even do it. You have to be trying to open a store, a nonprofit. Something like that. They don't talking about a game. They like, man, that's just no. So the person that helped me do mine, she used to be one of the marketing people for the Biloxi. But remember when they was doing the boxing down in Mississippi, and when Tuesday Night Fights used to come on USA, and they was down there in Mississippi and all that doing the boxing, had the big casino down there. Well, they still got the casino, but Katrina kind of knocked out. But she was their marketing people, and she also was one of the marketing people at the the Excalibur in Vegas. But she was on helping me doing my write up my grant. And so she knew a lot about how boxing's market and, casino gaming and all this other stuff. So that's what got me approved. But so yeah, I have to keep up what's going on in the boxing business. I even sat down with Mark Ratner, used to be the Nevada commissioner, sat down with him. I used to sit in Nevada Partners when Richard Steele had his boxing gym and ask him questions. So, and I used to hang around the boxing gyms when I lived in Vegas. So a lot of these guys, a lot of fighters I've met. And, the longer you're sitting around, being around the gyms, small talk takes place. So that's how I became cordial with a lot of fighters. Matter of fact, me and Montel Griffin's brother Tim became real tight because he was trying to do something with a seasoning. He was trying to get some rights to a seasoning and how to file it. Some of his grandmother had did. So he liked cooking. So he was like, man, me and you don't team up. So we started hanging out with him, and that's how I met Montel and things of that nature, man, because he said, you already where I'm at, man. You know how to go through the process of all this stuff. So, and that's just hanging around, Herbie Hyde and all them, Vince Phillips, all these guys, man, you hang around the gyms. And then be like, man, after a while, you'd be like, who's this brother? You know what I'm saying? Where you from? You know what I'm saying? You come in and then small talk and they say, okay, he's all right person. But no, I never was like running up, hey, can I get your autograph? Can I get your picture? Because I figured that'd be a turnoff. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a little small talk and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I don't want to take up too much more of your show. Yeah. But as far as the fights last night, man, my prediction was I thought it was going to be a little tougher fight. I've had Keyshawn, but I thought Tio was going to give him more of a fight. But I said, let's be honest. I was like, Tio can fight. So I'm thinking Shakur was going to pull out a decision. That's what I did. He did do that, but I didn't think. I thought Tio might be able to touch him here and there, but not said I wanted him to. But and then I was rooting for Keyshawn Davis to get back because that boy got some skills. If he could just keep his head on, and it looked like he's in a better place. He signed with James Prince too, so hopefully he gets himself together.
I wonder why he stopped letting Bomac be in his corner instead of.
I don't. You know what? I don't know. It may be. That's a
decision.
No, yeah. Well, I think after that, the Bomac's like, man, I don't want no parts of this. Man, you Negro, excuse me, but you guys are crazy, man. You out here stirring up the. Bomac ain't trying to, man. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. Some things are better. Sometimes you have to just kind of do your own thing. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, they would know better, but it seemed like he's in a much better place. Not because Bomac or anything. I'm just saying he need to be. Sometimes you gotta sit somebody down first. Like, I mean, like some people say, man, if I didn't go to, and I hate to say this, but and I always shake my hand when people say that I had to go do this little time in the joint, and that straightened me out. Maybe they was out here doing drugs and they was really off. And sometimes when you have to sit down, more or less have to be basically forced to sit down, sometimes it does straighten you out. You know what I'm saying? Because you're able to reflect. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know this suspension or whatever the situation he had going on after that altercation, because Bob Aaron was pissed at him and this person was pissed at him. He kind of had the word that when you have to sit down, and then it's embarrassing because you were supposed to be fighting at home defending your title. You had all these people, Michael Vick and what's his name, Bruce Smith, and all these guys from from the NFL coming, and Michael Vick, and all these people that's from your city, man. And you had celebrities coming in, and you clowning, you the main event, and then you gonna do that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you was sitting in the crowd like, eating popcorn and all that, and then afterwards, because your brother lost, you ready to snap. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, nobody's perfect, and I'm not the type to, just like with Tank and all that. I just, you just pray for people, but because I know people like to sit and just beat somebody over the head. But my mother always say, well, you just keep living. You keep talking about what you ain't gonna do and what you, man. I may make a comment about what somebody's done, but to sit and just, he ain't this and he ain't that, that ain't my business. That ain't help me. I'm focused on me. I don't like nobody's social media pages that I'm not a fan of. I don't keep up with other people's business. That's not for me. I'm working on me and me only. If I'm not a fan of yours, I'm not trying to keep you relevant by keep talking about you. I may make a comment, but I'm not that. I don't get in comments on social media platforms and all that. And I don't like Floyd, or I don't like this person, and I can't, and he can't run. He's a chicken. He can't run. First of all, a lot of people ain't even been in the ring. So talking about what somebody should have stand there and you ain't get hit. Like they say, man, when you pissing blood, spitting up blood, you in that ER, ain't none of these fans gonna be there when your brains is beat out, and then you show up to these boxing events and you got a family member trying to help you walk, and you got a suit on that's too big for you, and you barely can see and talk, and fans talking about, man, you see how bad he look? He's a great fighter. Yeah, can I get a picture of you? Then they talk about you, man. He's messed up. He's messed up. Ain't nobody talking about that. I don't care what fighter it is. People talk about Rigondeaux was a boring fighter, but here's the thing, man. It ain't about let me see how many times you can hit me. You got to earn that. You got to do that. I'm not going to just stand there and let you beat me in the face.
Exactly.
I'm not going to let you do that.
Opponent. It's on your opponent, not you.
Right. So, but people say that's boring. But okay, you sitting on your couch saying they ain't never put on a pair of gloves. You sitting, you ain't took one, and even if you did, you ain't make it that damn far. Because why? How come we don't know about you?
Exactly.
So when you get done criticizing these guys, they obviously had to know how to fight pretty much because look where they are. They ain't getting on TV fighting, and no networks don't put you on no TV if you ain't got some fighting skills. You must know how to do something. You got there somehow. Now, if you take even Arturo Gatti, he was bang, 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 bang. But what did he do to prolong his career? He started trying to box at the end. If you remember, he started. I mean, it wasn't working out because that's not his natural thing. And then if I'm born with natural athleticism, quickness, and speed, why the hell? And I'm not a big knockout one-punch artist. Why would I sit there and fight that kind of fight?
Exactly. I say that all the time. A lot of people don't understand. Like they say, what? Devin Haney don't stay there in the pocket because he's not
a knockout artist. And so that's like, I tell you what, that would be like telling Shaq he should have stood out there and just shot threes. That's not his natural ability.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's like telling Jordan, no, you stay here and you play like Shaq. Just stay in the paint. That's not going. He's not going to be successful. He's going to get beat up, get tore the fuck up. He ain't even big enough to be doing all that.
In that era, no, he would have retired early.
Well, I mean, just like they talk about Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, I don't know if I don't want to even waste time there, man. I mean, he's a great fighter. But sometimes all that warning and shit, you wind up because people don't understand whether it's football, boxing, MMA. You don't know what kind of effects you're going to have down the line. Chance Crawford was talking about that, but they don't. But I've been knowing that for years. You don't know what kind of effects your body that punishment is going to have on your bodies later in the years. You don't know. You look up and we be seeing that. I mean, knock on wood, God forbid. We don't know if Terrence Craig. That's what he said. Man, because they was asking why he retired. Go, man, I've been taking punishment for 30 years on my body. You go, I'm trying not to give boxing my health. You know what I'm saying? What health I got left. You know what I'm saying? Because it does take a toll. Our bodies are not made for that. Look at how the NFL is. People say, well, it's become softer. Well, yeah, because a lot of them old time players are jacked up.
Yep.
They legs, they arms, I mean, some of them can't really talk that well. Some got that whether PTSD or whatever. Like, remember what's his name? Junior Seau, he committed suicide. You know, brain all messed up, scattered. Them people don't understand that stuff is hard. Well, your boxing is hard, and people go, well, we paid our hard-earned money. We want to be entertained. Damn it, you are entertained, because that's why you came to the fight, or you tuning in. Exactly. Obviously, I've done something right there for you to say, oh, I'm going to watch this fight.
Yeah. Either you want me to win or you want me to lose.
I can't. It's not about me fighting your fight. See, those are people that do, because this is what I tell people. Okay, the next time you're in a street fight, and you find somebody that's a little big, maybe they don't even have to be bigger. They hit hard. I mean, they naturally cock strong. Don't you move. Stand right there and bang with them. Because we ain't gonna talk about, oh, you got that one good lick on them. We're gonna talk about who won the damn fight. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about who won the fight. So don't you dare move. Stand there and let him bang your head off your shoulders like Ernie Shavers used to hit people. Just stand there and take that. Don't you move. Don't start moving around. Because see, if you're quicker than him and you got more athleticism and you can get out the way and you can hit him more times he hitting you, that's what you're gonna do. Your instincts gonna kick in with that. So I really don't try to put down fight. I understand what it's like myself getting in there, getting hit up beside the head and all that stuff, and you be sore after these fights. A lot of people don't understand, man. You be sore as hell after these fights. If you was in a war, you don't even want your woman touching you. No, don't touch me.
No, you know what I'm saying? No, the first day you don't feel it. It's the next day you feel it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You be like, you go to sleep and you be
I'm like, he hit me? I didn't even know he touched me.
Yeah, and then that's what I'm saying. Then I'm saying after you and had your fun, you do the little after part, whatever you do, and then it's like, okay, going into the next day, it's like, fuck. You don't even want to go out the house. You just like, no, especially if it was a hard fight. Oh man, especially guys, you be seeing them guys with them. People think that's no big deal. You going, your eyes swell up, you sit up in the hospital, you gotta get all these stitches, you got a cracked rib, you got a lot of times your hand is messed up and you might have fractured your hand. I mean, it's a lot of stuff, man. People don't understand. That ain't always, that's wear and tear on your body. That's like getting in a car wreck, every 3 months. You know what I'm saying? And with broken bones, after a while, your body is not going to be the same. They say that with football. Football is like once a week, getting in a car wreck once a week. When them guys smashing into each other like that, 300 pounds and all that, man, that's a lot of, man. That, you know what I'm saying? That's, man.
A lot of people don't realize Joe Frazier, he was blind in one eye at some point in his
career. Yeah, he did. That's what I'm saying. You don't understand.
Dangerous hitters.
And then a lot of times, like I said, sometimes it's other parts of your body that's messed up. It may not be your brain, but you having trouble walking.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying?
I saw that a lot.
I saw Buster Douglas trying to go up the damn steps over the weekend, man, and they talking about, man, look at how he's walking. Look at Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes barely can walk now. I mean, some of it's age, but some of it, he did say some of it's that wear and tear in that boxing. That's why they be, I'm not totally against. I know some guys totally outprice themselves. If you ain't never seen $1 million, if your biggest check was $100,000, somebody offer you $500,000 or $600,000, I think, okay, you got it. But when you send them to me, I need $5 million, and your biggest check was $100,000, dude, you doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you ain't never done that. You got to sometimes you got to sacrifice to take a fight. Now, like I just said, if your biggest check was $100,000, they talking about here's $500,000. That is an increase. You know what I'm saying? But you can't be talking about I want no $3 or $4 million. Well, wait a minute now. You ain't never even made over $200,000. But so they're gonna pay you. Now, if you whoop that person, next time you can talk about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because I remember when I had a fight They was trying to get me to fight this guy. He was an Olympian, I think. He was from Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And they was gonna pay me, I think, $2,000 or $3,000. It was like, I think my second or third fight. I said no. I said I'm not.
Yeah, first of all, you taking in. You said you was going overseas. So now, wait a minute. Now that's a whole different time zone, the jet lag, and it's a whole lot. Then if I go over there and I ain't sure I'm gonna get the decision, now you got to compensate me a little bit better than that. You know what I'm saying? Because I might win the fight, and then
out my weight. I was a cruiserweight, because in the amateurs you're heavyweight, but
right.
when you're in the pros, these jokers bigger than me. I'm not fighting nobody that outweigh me.
Yeah, especially if you know they trying to set you up, because a lot of people don't understand. I tell people all day, do you know there are some really good fighters? They just had bad management. Because a lot of times these managers are in with these promoters. Like if a person is a small time promoter, right? Real small. He just do little local shows in some little town or city or something. And then Don goes, man, I need a guy to come in and fight my Olympian. There's a guy prospect I got.
Yeah.
Well, he ain't giving a damn. Your guy ain't giving a damn about you, because he trying to get in good with Don, because he go, I'll give me another fighter, but Don gonna hook me up. They don't understand. Sometimes they sacrifice some of their guys. People don't know that stuff.
Yep.
See, that tells you I know what I'm talking about, Poe. I know. They set people up. I mean, there's some guys I've seen, man, that can fight. You look at their records and go, golly, he fought this person. But he go, man, they offer me a little more than I ever seen. If you was only making $2,500, they talking about here's $12,000. You got, okay, well, shoot, I got a baby. I'm working this full-time job. You know what I'm saying? I need this little bread, so I'm going to take this fight. I know I've been in and out the gym, and I ain't really been doing no serious training, because I didn't have a fight lined up. Because a lot of guys, man, that's how a lot of these guys get losses, and promoters are doing them. If you're dealing with a promoter that ain't really hooked up like that, you don't know when you're going to get a fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you just training. Well, that motivation is only going to go so far.
Yep.
And especially if you didn't have a huge amateur background, if you don't have you weren't fighting these national, international tournaments and stuff like that, getting your name out there. A lot of times you're just an amateur. You fought a few handful of stuff, man. They'll feed you to the dogs to build their guy up.
Yo, because I seen all these name boxers like Lamont Brewster.
Yeah.
Hassan Rahman. I saw all these guys when they was amateurs, and I was laughing. I'm like, Dad, man. All these guys, they was around me, and I'm not in that same thing because of my management and promoter.
Yeah, that's promoter. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying a lot of people don't really understand that there are guys. That's why you'll see like when you guys were talking about. Well, I think you guys were talking about, or was I saying it? But I've been doing this for a while. A lot of these guys with deep amateur backgrounds, pedigree, they're really basically pro fighters. They're not they're not of the elite. But think about when they go in there, a guy, he's having his first pro fight, and he's fighting a guy that's 10 and maybe 10 wins, 5 wins, and 6 KOs. You're thinking, well, damn, that's gonna be a tough fight. No, it ain't. Because he's damn near top 20 fighter.
Yeah, because he had over 100 fights. If you have over 100 fights, you're a pro.
Yeah, I mean, you have fought international, you have seen all kind of styles.
Exactly.
That's how a lot of them Europeans, when they talk about Lomachenko and guys like that and Rigondeaux, they can only have a handful of pro fights and be fighting for a world title, because by the time you have seen 300 or 400, you have fought 300 or 400 amateur fights. Man, you have seen everything.
Yep.
You are basically damn near an elite fighter. You just need more experience in fighting those guys. But I mean, you just trying to get the experience fighting. But that's why I look at these guys. I mean, they only 10, 12 fights, and they already fighting for a world title. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just like when Muhammad Ali fought Leon Spinks. Now I tell people this: we don't know how much the Parkinson's was affecting Ali. I do, because I did see the documentary where they were saying you could tell when he was talking and some of his movement, he just wasn't the same. Yeah. But people say, well, Leon beat Ali. He had 7 pro fights. Man, you talking about back in the day, they weren't even wearing headgear in the Olympics. Them guys can fight. You know what I'm saying? Them guys can fight. That was real killers. And Ali came back and won the rematch, but it was still a tough fight. Leon's problem was his outside habits, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? But he can fight. He can fight. But for most of the 80s, think about it. The man was damn near top 10 contender, at least top 12, 15 contender. You know what I'm saying? Because but he had outside issues. That's the only thing that messed him up. But Michael just he didn't have that, so that's why he went further. But yeah, man. But my point of bringing that up is that Leon can fight. Them guys, Sugar Ray Leonard, them guys, when they came out the Olympics, man, that was some bad boys. They were already pros.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to think about that. They wasn't no slouches. You know what I'm saying?
Even if we go back, go as early as Oscar De La Hoya, he's still experienced. When you go to the Olympics, you're experienced.
That's why he was able to get to a world title fight too when he had only like 10, 12 fights.
When he first
he fought that one dude and won that WBO belt back when the WBO was still trying to make a name for himself. See, people don't really even understand that. You know what I'm saying? I remember that. One of the first fights that I really started hearing, but when Ray Mancini came back and fought Boom Boom Mancini. And it was like 1988 when he fought him in Reno, Nevada. And that's when I first heard. And then another time, the next following year, Hearns had fought James Kitchen. And they was fighting for the vacant WBO super middleweight title, and that's the same weekend that Sugar Ray Leonard was fighting Donnie Lalonde for the vacant WBC super middleweight title. So people don't, that's
Somebody in the chat says Spinks was a gold medalist. I think both of them had medals.
They both had medals. Yeah, him and his brother. They say the 70s, the greatest Olympic teams was the 76, they said that because you had Howard Davis, Sugar Ray Leonard, the Spinks brothers.
My teammate, when we was pros, he was my teammate.
Yeah, you look at that. So you had those guys, and then the next one they say is the '84 Olympics, and then the '88 Olympics. If you look at all the guys, so that's kind of the order they kind of go by. But yeah, because we was, it's just I don't know.
A lot of people, they're not trying to do that well in the Olympics. They're like, I'm going to get paid either or, if I go to the Olympics or not. But that ain't how we were thinking.
No, what it is that the politics of the Olympic, man, a lot of people just gotten fed up with how it started. See, I go back to when Roy Jones, when that stuff happened to Roy, that just put a sour taste about the Olympics. Yeah. When a lot of people like, man, okay, y'all cheating now. Now you host the Olympics and you want your boy to come up there, you gonna rob people for it? So it kind of turned people away, and they were like, promoters and stuff was like, shoot, man, we'll just if you got just even a really solid amateur pedigree where you were an international fighter and you was winning all these gold medals in these other little tournaments or these other tournaments, they're like, well, shoot, you worth something. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of started kind of going that way. But they're trying to get it back. I don't know, what they do, because boxing is so different now with all these belts and all this stuff. I've never seen such craziness. It's madness.
It's heavy.
Yeah. It is. I know people say that gives other people opportunity, but no, it's a watered down now. I mean, when you talking about somebody got to be I never forget the first time I heard of super champion was when Naseem Hamed was at his peak before he fought Tom Boom Boom Johnson. They said because he had 10 title defenses. So that's how the WBO said you were a super champion, but then they had the regular WBO champion. But then it really seemed like it really took off and WBC started coming up with their interim belt. But the fight when the WBA made William Joppy, remember when after Bernard beat won the middleweight tournament, Joppy had the regular WBA belt, and Bernard, they considered him super champion. And Bernard would have been stripped had he not took that fight with Joppy. So they had to unify the WBA belt. Now that's some nonsense.
Yeah, but the thing that I was telling people is the way that Dana White is trying to do it with that one belt thing.
Yeah,
if there's 100 people in the rankings, that person that's 100 ranked, he'll never see a title shot.
Yeah, but the thing about with Dana and them, the problem I have with that is, and they got a show coming on tonight, is it's going to be very challenging to tell fighters to come over and we putting a cap on your earning power.
Yeah,
that's gonna be hard. You're gonna have a hard time doing that because guys are gonna be looking at other guys because and if I'm Oscar and them and I'm Eddie Hearn and I'm Bob Arum, Top Rank, or what is it? By Top Rank and any of these other promoters. My thing is y'all need to unite, man, and come together because the thing is you'll be able to compete with you're gonna have to try to compete with Turki Al-Sheikh in some way, shape, form because he does have the money. The problem with that is I understand what Dana White don't want to do, but you're capping people's money, and that's ain't nobody gonna. So that what you're trying to say is okay. The champions will make what $750,000, and you might give them a little bit of the percentage or something. Ain't nobody going for that, man. When I'm watching this guy over here. When I got this guy over here making $10 million to $5 million and $10 million, and you talking about I ain't even breaking $1 million, but you might give me you supposedly give me let's say my purse is $750,000, but then you might give me a piece of the action. So let's say it doubles to $1.5 million. Okay, what is that? This guy over here is still making $5 million.
Yeah,
and I got because like we talking about the injuries. Like we're saying, the injuries and the punishment your body takes, man, I'm trying to get paid. So if I'm not going to be right, I don't see nobody lining up you see how bad Rafael Benitez looking. And think about Gerald McClellan. How many people are showing up at Gerald McClellan's house offering him something?
Nothing.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't want to hear all that. I do get some guys do totally outprice themselves, but I'm not talking about them. Because I just gave you an example. If you've never made 100, if your biggest check was 100,000, they said here's $500,000, and you said no, I want 3 million. Well, brother, sometimes you got to take that fight. They just increased it 5 times. Then the next time you can say, look, I did that for you. I did that favor for you. Now you owe me. You see what I'm saying? So you got to do that sometimes. So they offered you a nice increase. You know what I'm saying? But you can't be talking about you won $3 million and your biggest check was 100,000. Now you're getting kind of out of hand. You can't worry about what the other person's making. I'll give you an example. Remember when Willie Wise fought Julio Cesar Chavez? The brother, he was just a no-name brother, man. He was just low-level. I think his biggest check was it 15,000, 25,000, something like that. So he fought Chavez, and I think he got like, I don't know, 50,000, whatever. But when he fought Shane Mosley, he got damn near, 400,000 or something like that? Well, that was a big increase. Of course, he didn't win, but you see what I'm saying? He took that fight. He didn't go, well, I'm fighting Chavez. Chavez getting $1 million. So you got to offer me more than $50,000. No, man. Take that fight. You're getting double or whatever it was, way more than you ever had. Yeah. Then the next fight you got really rewarded because now you're getting $300,000, $400,000. Now, if you won that fight, you be talking about minimum 7 figures. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So,
but a lot of people are looking at the break off, who they got to break money off to, your manager, your promoter.
Yeah, but just like I said, if your biggest check was 100,000, they offer you $500,000.
Yeah,
you paying whatever you paying them, you still got to pay them, but you're going to get broke out because you go from 100,000 to 5 times the amount you ever made. That's a pretty good increase. You know what I'm saying? Now, you can't be talking about I want. Because all you got to do. I mean, like I said, that's a nice increase. And you said, okay, if I get past this one fight, I'm home free. Now the next time they can't come to me talking about no 6 figures. We got to do 7.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, for the next fight or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So because a lot of times HBO and Showtime would do that with fighters, man. They would say, like they'll call a guy and say, hey, will you take this fight? And you go, yeah. And even if you but all you had to do was put up a good performance, even if you just stepping in. And then what they do is we got you the next telecast. So a lot of times guys get rewarded like that. Not saying you had to take it because who was that? Somebody was supposed to fight Oscar or Floyd for $1 million, and he said hell no because he didn't want to be a stepping stone. And I think Obakar got in there and took the fight. And yeah, he got knocked out by Oscar, but yeah, he took the fight. He was like, hell, I'll take that $1 million.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I forget the one fighter that turned it down, but yeah, he took it. And then the next time he got another opportunity to be on HBO.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they say, well, he took it on a short notice, and we understand he ain't been really having a full-blown training camp, but they took care of him. They said, you go in and you do this. And he like, man, I'm going to take this $1 million. And okay. Then the next time he got on, I think, a boxing act after dark, over Carr did.
Yeah.
And so they reward him and say, okay, now you have proper training. You're going to be on this next telecast. Now it's up to you to do what you do. It's for us to continue to be deal with you because we took care of you last time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you did us a favor. You saved our fight card. You saved our fight card. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I remember they had me. I was supposed to be on, I think, Tuesday Night Fights. And I was like, oh, man. I said, I'm making the big time now. And
yeah.
The way they were saying the money wasn't that good. And I forgot what happened. I think my manager or promoter, they turned it down. I was like, what? I was thinking about being on TV.
Yeah. I mean, because that's all, you know what? The thing is, that exposure is big.
Yeah.
You get on TV and you show out and have a great performance.
Yeah.
That makes the executives or that makes another promotional company see you, because what they'll do, they'll reach out to your people and say, well, you know, is he available to be on our card? We got a guy we want to match him up with, or whatever the case may be, or whatever. So people don't really understand all that. But yeah, I know I know about all that.
Yeah, so, my sparring helped me get a lot of stuff too, because I remember Ray Mercer trainer and promoter was Tommy Parks. And
yeah,
Tommy Parks was like, he said, because I was trying to fight Butterbean. I said, yo, you could hook me up to fight Butterbean. He said, man, he ain't gonna fight you, man. You can fight. He ain't gonna fight you.
Well, there was that. You remember what's his name? Bruce Trampler, Top Rank, man. Remember they had messed up with Butterbean, and that one dude got in there and whooped him.
Yeah.
They were so pissed because they, you know what I'm saying? They said, oh, yeah, we got this.
Like, man, that could have been me putting it on Butterbean.
Yeah, so, but that's what I'm saying. They were trying to, you know, because he's basically entertainment. They like he would start off the shows. You know what I'm saying? So he was like
the first Jake Paul. He was
he tough man guy. He had a nice little, wearing his American trunks, a Caucasian guy. They're like, he'll sell, big size. He had that unique look and stuff like that because he's a big guy, bald headed. Yeah, we would do him. He had some heavy hands. If you stand there and let him hit you, you know what I'm saying, he's gonna knock you out. So it was entertaining. They like that. That's how they start them fight. All them fight cards, the pay-per-view card, they start them off with Butterbean. Then he got the big contract with Bob Arum and wind up becoming a household name. And I remember when he did a pay-per-view fighting Peter McNeely and whooped him up. You know what I'm saying? Another guy that just able to just stand there and just get into these wars and stuff. So yeah, it's so all that stuff. But yeah, so that's interesting you say Butterbean, because they weren't gonna match him, man, with nobody that really. They get a guy that ain't been in the gym. They get a guy that maybe had a little boxing experience or something, and he ain't been in the gym in 2 or 3 years, and call him up and say, hey, would you like to fight this week?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he coming in, he probably been drinking and smoking cigarettes and whole night because he hadn't left his boxing career alone. Okay, or give him 2 weeks of training. He ain't Butterbean been training for like 10 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And then he get in there and he barely, after one round, he ain't got no damn stamina. You know what I'm saying? He tired. You know what I'm saying? He breathing all hard and stuff. So yeah, they used to do dudes like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Get him in there. But they get a nice little check. Okay, here's 10,000, 15,000. Butterbean getting his $200,000 or whatever. Okay, we give you $10,000. Guy saying, well, I'll go in there and take that. I need that. Like I said, he working a job, probably have some child support, or you know what I'm saying? He's thinking, hey, my kids can have a good Christmas or a birthday or something. Yeah. So, you get in there and get whooped. You know what I'm saying? But ain't no problem. If he hit me hard enough, I might just drop down. They wasn't there really trying to win, but they got that one brother that got in there, said, oh, bullshit, I'm here to win. You know what I'm saying? So his people might even said, no, he ain't been in the gym. You know what I'm saying? No, he ain't been in the gym. No, that brother been coming in there at least 4 days a week, doing some sparring once a week. And then they thought, oh, yeah, we got somebody here. Yeah, he sure tricked them. Got in there and whooped Butterbean.
Yeah. I'm thinking about the end of the show. I appreciate you, man, for popping in. And
all right, brother.
Look over that contract again, man.
Yeah, it's just an NDA, man. I mean, so that way, I mean, it ain't like I said. It's not. That's why I said if you want to highlight or you want to come up with your own, I have my team look it over. It ain't nothing
Okay.
funny. All it is to protect what my conversation with you and anything that I discuss with you, or like if I invited you to meetings or whatever. That's all it is, man. It ain't nothing about me trying to get over. I'm not even about all that, man. Like I said, I have to have that kind of stuff, man, because people always talk about
Yeah, you're
lawsuits.
supposed to.
I ain't trying to. I'm not trying to get into fighting court battles before I even get stuff going. Now I got to spend money for that. I don't want to be going through that, man.
Yeah, I
You know what I'm
understand.
saying? Yeah. So that's all it is, brother. That's what, even with the phone call, that's all it is. Just like we talking now, that's all we be doing, man. We ain't, we ain't. I ain't trying to get nobody. I'm like I said. I tell people this when I lost my, one thing about me, I ain't trying to go to hell or jail for nothing I'm trying to do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I ain't trying to step on nobody's toes. And, I'm a pretty much humble, laid back guy, man. I just stay in my lane. I don't try to bother nobody or nothing, man. I mean, think about it, man. I don't know how long I'm even going to be. Like I said to you, or like like the brother was talking the other day, and like we were saying, man, the countdown is on for our lives. We try to make peace with the good Lord, you know what I'm saying, before we leave this place. I ain't trying to harm nobody, man. The countdown is on. At our age, man,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, you start thinking about those kind of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, brother. Okay, so yeah, do that, man. And if you guys are interested, man, just let me know. Like I said, I ain't trying to do nothing with nobody, Brad. I mean, this is all just, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. I like what you're talking about. You have a lot of knowledge. As you see, I got boxing knowledge, but thing I didn't know. What really impressed me with you is I didn't know that you were working with these companies. See that? So
Yeah.
you have a lot of things, not just that you know about games, and I'm surprised you're not. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people know you, but I'm surprised your social media is having just. You ain't got a million subscribers, man, because the stuff you talking about, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that because that's. I heard another developer say that, but my thing was I was too low key. They was telling me way back when we was talking, like before we was talking earlier, and they
Yeah,
was saying like, Paul, you need to put yourself out there. But I said I'm not really a talker like that. And he say, no, you
yeah,
gotta
but
put
you
yourself
got it in you, brother. You got it,
out
man. And the stuff you talking about. Cause see, I'm like I said, my game is very different, yeah, than the other games, and I'm talking about because the way you're gonna play it and how it's gonna
there.
look and all that. But I don't want it just to be attractive to kids, so I'm not trying to do a kitty kidette game.
Yeah,
I'm trying to make it for our group too. Like I
yeah,
said, I want to get them people that like spades and poker. And I mean, well, it's definitely
yeah,
spades, even dominoes, because it's a turn based strategy game. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So it's kind of like that. So I want people in that age group to be enjoying it too. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I mean, they already do. Like I said, I've almost had fights breaking out in
yeah.
job corps with my thing, back then. So I know what I got. It's just a matter of, I'm trying to turn it into a game.
So it's gonna be like Uno.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be, but yeah, it's boxing though. It's
Yeah,
boxing.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
So, but
yeah.
yeah, but yeah, with the video game, you can give a lot of
Don't
visualizations and
say too
stuff.
much because people gonna start adding up stuff.
Yeah,
Too
no, no,
much.
no, no, no. I'm no. Some of the stuff I'm just like I'm talking now. I'm just telling you because that stuff's already out there. But as
Yeah,
far as the
yeah, yeah.
game stuff, yeah, no, no. That's why I said I wanted to talk to you too. Because yeah, when you hear, you gonna go, oh yeah, 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 oh yeah. But see, I wanted you to come in to help with like even the designing when we talking about characters and function.
Yeah,
Yeah, there were certain things. I mean, I'm doing a pretty good job too because I'm very hard. That's one thing the guy said
yeah,
yesterday. He go, man, you are. You know what I'm saying? I'm very picky because I know what I
yeah,
want to see. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So I'm trying to attract people. But yeah, brother, we can get we can talk and stuff like that. If I'm open to it. That's why I got on today. I know yesterday I was kind of tired and I was into the fights and stuff and I was doing a little running around. But yeah, today I kind of just lounged around and stuff. But saw you on. I said, let me get on here because I know I talked to you the other day on LinkedIn. I was like, man, when you having your show? And then when I came in, I said, is he ignoring me? Because I put something, I said, where's the link? And then
yeah.
you never said nothing. And then when you got ready to get off, you go, shout out to Car Boxing and all. And I was like, oh, man, is he ignoring me or what's? But I said, you know what? Like I said, my mother said, when the Lord blesses, there's no sorrow. So I'm not. So
Yeah.
today I said, I'm going to try it one more time. to say something. If you didn't, I wasn't going to take it. I was like, okay, it's not meant to be. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But okay, brother, you enjoy your day. And if you want to talk after this, we can. Or you want to talk tomorrow, you look over the document. I'm open to it, brother. It'd be a pleasure.
All right. Appreciate you, man, coming through, man.
All right. Take care, brother.
Oh, you too.
All right.
AJ, you there? All right. Let me. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was listening in the background. No problem.
Okay.
Actually, I got some ideas from that conversation.
You basically did what I said.
I was taking some notes and some ideas that came out of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm good, man. I think I'm just about to sign off.
Okay. I'm gonna finish off these questions I got, and then I'm gonna log off.
All right, man. So I'll catch you later in the week.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna finish my Q&A. I got some more Q&As, and then I'm gonna sign off. In the show. If y'all got anything y'all want to ask me, like I said, y'all can send in questions too, or y'all could come on the show and talk. All right. How can modeling boxing? How can you model boxing if you never box? My answer: by studying it deeply and systematically. Rebuttal: understanding systems does not require participation. I think I read this. I don't want to repeat something. Give me a second. I think once I did that conversation, I went everything like pushed up. Oh, okay. Let me read this one. I'm going to read this one. Debunking and deep dive. Stop calling everything running and spam. The real issue, people are using insult instead of analysts. When someone loses exchanges or can't cut the ring, they often default to two lazy labels. Running for movement they don't like. Spam for offense they can't stop. Those words aren't coaching terms, they're frustration terms. They don't describe what happened, they describe how the person felt. And when a community uses emotion words as if they're mechanics, the discussion becomes useless for developers and toxic for everyone else. All right. Running versus boxing movement. Know the difference. What people call running and boxing games usually includes circling off the lead foot, pivoting out after punching, taking angles to reset range, backstepping to bait a reach, backstepping to bait a reach, sliding out of the pocket after a combo, clinching or tying up to stop momentum. This is not running. This is ring craft. Actual running in a game sense is different. Constant retreat with no intent. No attempt to score. No attempt to create counters. No attempts to control space. Pure time wasting. Debunk. If movement is creating clean shots, counters, miss swings from the opponent, bad angles for the opponent, then it isn't running, it's winning. Spam versus sustained offense. Know the difference. What people call spam usually includes working the jab consistently, repeating a successful body shot, using 1-2 to probe and occupy, throwing value when the opponent shells up, combination building off reactions. That's not spam. That's a game plan. Actual spam in a game sense is different. Repeating a move with no risk, a pattern that has no stamina cost, a pattern that has no accuracy degradation, a move that ignores distance, timing, and setup, a tactic that stays effective even when read perfectly. Debunk. This is the debunk. If the defender knows what's coming and still can't stop it, that's not automatic spam. It might be bad positioning, poor timing, no head movement, no counters, no ring cutting, no defensive layers. Sometimes the truth is simple. You're not being spammed, you're being outboxed. Why these labels harm boxing games? When players label everything running spam, devs give misled feedback. Instead of movement has low stamina cost, tracking is too weak, ring cutting tools are underpowered, jab recovery is too fast, certain sequences have no counterplay. They just hear nerf running, nerf spam. That pushes patches toward forced brawls, reduced styles, arcade pacing, fewer viable strategies, and that kills long-term depth. The boxing truth people don't want to admit. In real boxing, the most common complaint from fans is he's running. But the coaches say, cut the ring, jab your way in, stop following, touch the body, make him reset, trap him on the ropes. Meaning, if someone is running, the answer isn't whining, the answer is skill and solution. A boxing game should reflect that same truth. Deep dive. What to say instead? Developer useful language. Replace running with lateral movement has low stamina cost. Back step distance is too large. Turn rate is too strong while retreating. Pivot break tracking too easy. Ring cutting doesn't create containment. Rope and corner pressure doesn't matter enough. Replace spam with move recovery is too fast. Block stun is too low or high. Patterns has no counter window. Stamina cost doesn't scale with value. Accuracy doesn't degrade under repetition. Damage scaling is too consistent without setups. Defensive response don't create deterrence. That's how you give feedback like a coach and like a designer. I'm gonna stop right there. I got more, but it's too much. So I'm gonna stop right there. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. What's up, Leafy? Let me see. How's it going, Risky Rich Gaming? What was William Skull doing against Canelo? Is that considered running? Depends on who you ask, though. I didn't see the fight, so I can't really say. I didn't. When once I saw it with who he's fighting and stuff, I didn't find it was interesting for me to watch. I didn't watch the fight. You come back on another show, I'll probably give you an answer to that. Let me see. Or Josh Kelly against Majumov. See, I didn't watch these two fights. I apologize. Yeah, I gotta watch it. So what do you think? What do you think he was doing, Risky and Rich? Do you think he was running or was he boxing them? Because a lot of people, they call everything running. Nobody's brawling, they call it running. Some boxers have good movement. That because you're not standing in front of the person constantly doesn't mean you're running. What do you think? I'm waiting for a reply. Let me see. Let me see what I got in here. Trying to let you answer it. While you answering, I'm gonna read a couple of questions that I wasn't gonna read. He's running. That's not boxing. My answer to that: boxing includes movement, resets, and angle creation. Rebuttal: if you can't trap him, that's not proof he's running. It's proof you can't cut the ring. Question 2: he's keep jabbing. That's spam. Consistent jabbing is basic boxing. My rebuttal: if you can't parry, slip, counter, or step inside, that's a you problem, not a jab problem. He just throws the same body shot. My answer to that: if it keeps landing, it's not spam, it's targeting. Rebuttal: take away the angle, change levels, intercept, or punish the entry. He keeps backing up and winning. Broken. Backing up can be a trap. Exactly. Rebuttal: if your pressure has no threats, no jab, no body work, no fence, you're just walking forward. People only move to exploit mechanics. People only move to exploit mechanics. Answer: sometimes true. Rebuttal: then describe the exploit precisely. Stamina, tracking, recovery. Don't hide behind running. I shouldn't have to chase. In boxing, you do, unless you control space. Rebuttal: the ring is a weapon. If you can't use it, you're not entitled to exchanges. The ring is a weapon. If you can't use it, you're not entitled to exchanges. He's spamming combos. Answer: if combos are landing clean, defense is failing. Rebuttal: the question is, why aren't you making him pay for volume? Let me see what you said in the chat. If I ever fought Canelo, I'll probably run around the ring too, laughing out loud. But I've never boxed, so either way, I'll get knocked the F out. Let me see. Josh Kelly was running, I thought. I didn't think he won either. I heard that too from a couple of people. Random Thought said it's only running when it's a black fighter. Random Thought said that. Poe didn't say that. Random Thought said that. Random Thought said that. Let me see. The game should stop people from playing like that. The game should stop risk-free tactics. Rebuttal: it should not stop legitimate styles just because some players hate them. Calling everything running and spam is how you turn a boxing game into a forced brawl. One style meta, shallow gameplay, loudest voice balance. Let me see. All right. Spam is an arcade fighting game word. I always say that that's a word that they use in arcade fighting games. When someone labels boxing action as spam, they're not using boxing language. They're using arcade fighting game language. And that tells you a lot, not about the game, but how they are thinking. Why spam doesn't belong in boxing conversation. In arcade fighters, spam means repeating a move with little risk, but guaranteed advantages against limited defense options. That concept fits projectile loops, input buffers, frame traps, fixed move lists. Boxing does not work like that. There are no moves. There are actions, and every action in boxing carries energy cost, position risk, time and exposure, counter opportunities. So when someone says spamming in a boxing game context, they're importing logic from a complete different genre. What spam is usually code for in boxing games. When people say spam, they usually mean I cannot stop the jab. I kept walking into the same shot. I didn't adjust. I don't know the counter. I want the game to save me. That's not a balance issue by default. That's a skill gap or knowledge gap. Boxing has repetition by design. Boxing is built on repetition, conditioning, pattern exploitation, incremental damage. Real trainers literally teach boxers, keep touching him with the jab. Go back to the body. Make him react to the same look. Break him down. If repetition equals spam, then boxing itself is spam. And that's obvious nonsense. Why this revealed players' mentality? Using spam in a boxing games tell you they expect instant solutions. They expect the game to intervene. They expect uncomfortable being solved. They value execution over adjustments. They think in boxing game frames, they think in fighting game frames, not boxing exchanges. That doesn't make them bad people. It just means they're not speaking the language of boxing. The design danger of listening to spam complaints. If developer takes spam complaints literally, patches tends to nerf jabs into irrelevance, reduce volume, effectiveness, overbuff pressure, force exchanges, flatten styles. The result, everyone fights the same. Movers disappear. Boxers lose identity. The game becomes arcade leaning. That's how boxing games lose longevity. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Let me see what y'all saying. If I ever fought Kello, I'll probably run too. Those Canelo liver shots be nasty. What? Random thoughts. Time out. That's a whole fact. Hold on, what you said, random thought? Okay. Okay. That's a whole fact. I felt like the ring is too big. I feel like the ring, some rings is, but we gotta stop saying if it's up to some people, the ring will be 2 feet by 2 feet. That's why I be saying, like, generations always try to change something that worked back in the days that they fell in love with. Now they want everybody to fight in a slugfest. Some boxers need to move. They want to move. When people want the ring to be small as possible, they want slugfests and brawls. Everybody will not last. Some of your favorite fighters will not last. Everybody, I don't want, and that's the kind of fight that I used to fight. If you look at me, you could tell that I was a brawler, body put. Nope, I actually boxed too, but I'd rather not try to knock somebody's head off before anything. But I respect the ring, what the ring is there for. I'm not lazy enough. I mean, I'm not that lazy person that don't know how to cut off the ring. I know how to cut off the ring. A lot of people don't, even in a video game, and it's crazy. In a video game, people don't want to cut off the ring. They're too lazy to cut off the ring. In real life, I could say, all right, he don't want to cut the ring off because he's lazy. He don't want to waste that energy. But in a video game, people don't want to cut off the ring. They want everything to be in front of them. They want that game punch a bunch. They want punch a bunch. We should have rings with different size rings realistically. I seen a Japan ring, that junk looked there bigger than a mother, looked like a like you could put a whole apartment in that ring. Yeah, it feels like a basketball court, big enough for a Royal Rumble. An undisputed ring, you can fit 2 Royal Rumbles. But it's crazy that they got a big ring, but the way they got the game set up is for a person that wants to be a brawler or a slugger. Because once you took the referee out and you took out fighting in the inside and you took clinching out, having a big ring, that disappears. You might as well just made the ring small. Yeah, phone booth ring. That's what we used to say when you fighting real close up on a person, not like you're not moving nowhere. Fighting in a phone booth. I had a lot of them fights until I start fighting better competition and you getting cracked for trying to stay there and trade with somebody. Once I start moving up to the open class and you fighting these people that had 50 fights, hundreds fights, 75 fights, stuff like that. Now you fighting these guys and you trying to stand there in the middle. No matter how many losses they got, it's the experience. That's what I be telling people. Because I told somebody, I said, if you had a fighter, now I'm going to say, I want y'all to play promoter or manager, whichever one y'all want to call it. All right. Now you had a fighter. Let's say you had an amateur fighter, and let's say he had like 50 fights, 50 amateur fights, and he won a lot of different fights. Now you turn him pro, and you know he had 2 fights. He had knockouts. The first 2 fights, he knocked the person out because y'all got him a good fights that he could get the knockouts. All right, you said you want to move him up. So now you get this guy. He got 13 wins and 50 losses. Would you let your guy that only had 2 pro fights fight that guy? He got 13 wins and 50 losses. Would you let your guy that had 2 losses in the pros fight him? Yeah, I saw that. That was the funniest thing in the world to me. Yeah, that was funny. I'm like, yo, you know something like that could have happened at any time in a ring. Anytime. You come in the ring with something like that on. No, I ain't meet none of them. No, Jarrell Miller, he was like after us. He was one of them boxers that came after. I never met them. Or if I probably saw him a couple of times and probably didn't really pay him no mind. Adam Katanaki, not that I know of. I talked to him before. I talked to him online, like Adam Karanaki and Jarrell Miller. I talked to them online because I was trying to get them in round for round. Yeah. Yeah, they New York guys. I'm in Jersey. I'm in North. I'm close by New York, but I'm in North. Yeah. I sparred at Gleason's gym and stuff like that. You know, I didn't see him. It's a lot of people I didn't like really focus too much on. When I went to a gym, I just focused on doing what I was gonna do and keep it moving. Some stuff I didn't get starstruck about, you know, like, hey, I'm in Gleason's gym. Oh man, I'm in Gleason's gym. The only gym I got kind of like excited about when I went to Fraser gym, Joe Fraser gym. You had to walk up this big flight of stairs. And I'm like, daggone, that's your workout right there. Yeah, I'm in North. Yeah, you walk all the way upstairs. I mean, Jim, I think they got 3 rings in them. Was it 3 rings or 2 rings? I forget. But yeah, it was a good atmosphere. I seen you had martial arts people there training, and you had boxers, and you seen a little bit of everybody there. Everybody. They had 2 offices. Oh, you trained at Fraser's gym? Yeah, when I went there, it was one guy, he was training there, and they looked for somebody to spar. And I think the guy, he was a junior middleweight. And I'm a heavy, I was considered a heavyweight. And he was like, no, they was like, yeah, if your guy want to spar, he could spar. I was like, all right, because I brought my training clothes and everything when we went down there. Because we was just going down there just to visit, because my uncle knew Joe Frazier and he knew George Benton. And we went down there. I was like, let me go down there. I want to work out and everything. So we went down there, and the guy needed some sparring. I sparred him. But my thing is, with me and my sparring, sometimes I get a little over the top, and I was almost beat the brakes off that guy. And it's like, I was like, oh, I apologize. I said, I got a little over carried away. He said, no, it's on him. And he had a fight like 3 days away. And you let him fight a heavyweight, and I was heavy-handed and everything. Let me see. His daughter used to be in the office, Jackie. Oh yeah. And he got another daughter. My brother used to always talk about it because my brother used to train at Joe Frazier's gym. You know, Joe Frazier and George Benton. That's how we knew him. My brother knew him because my brother used to train at Joe Frazier. Let me see. All right, give me a second. Yes. No. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's super cold outside.
Yeah.
It's like people, water blind, 3 people that burn candle.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll stop this off. Can you come outside and get it maybe like 7 o'clock?
All right.
All right. Call you quick outside.
Okay.
All right, brother.
All right. Yeah. B-Hop, great boxing. Oh yeah, I got a story about Bernard Hopkins. I was in New York. I forgot who was fighting. I think what's his name? Maurice Harris, the guy that y'all see, the famous video, the guy that get knocked out, Maurice Harris, he was fighting that day. and I was over there because I knew his trainers and stuff. And I think I supposed to have Ford on that car. I went to New York. I forgot what was the name of the place we went at. But I was in New York and I was on the elevator. And I was just standing there. And I saw Bernard Hopkins and he got on the elevator and I smiled. And he turned around and stared at me. And he said, you know who I am? And I just looked at him. He said, I'm Bernard Hopkins, the executioner. And I laughed at him. I was like, oh, sweat. I said, it's B-Hop. And he said, I just know, and he shook my hand. I was like, oh. Let me see. Even Joe used to come through as he got in the ring with me and showed me some pointers. Yeah. When I met Joe Frazier, I met him when EA had the event I went to. And Joe Frazier kept walking back and forth. And I was looking at him. And I guess I kind of favor my brother. And he's like, looked at me. I said, hey, Joe, I said, my brother used to train in your gym. And he was laughing. He looked at me. He said, okay. And, you know, he kept coming back, shaking my hand and stuff. And I was like, all right. But yeah, that's the only, but I knew this other guy because my uncle was talking to him. My uncle said his name was Val. If you went to Joe Frazier gym, you probably heard of Val. Val was one of Joe Frazier, his guys, one of his main trainers. Tall, light-skinned dude. What you mean by tall, light-skinned dude? Man, why people keep asking me Rocky films, man? Rocky didn't excite me like that. But if I was gonna pick Rocky films that I like, the first one and Rocky 4. What you mean by Colbert? Even Joe used to come through and go through with man and some pointers. Tall, light-skinned dude, Colbert. I don't remember Colbert. Maurice Harris. He was a good boxer. They just pushed him too fast. That was Val. Yeah, Val Colbert. Yeah. My brother and my uncle them knew him because my uncle was asking me, he said, what you think about him? Because he pointed at me, he said, what you think about him? He said, he's gonna be a small heavyweight. And then he was saying, he said, hey, it's a lot of he was talking about Bert Cooper. I remember I met Bert Cooper. Because I was like, I went up to Bert Cooper. I said, man, I'm looking at all these heavyweights. They're tall, man. I said, how do you do it? He said, don't worry about it. Yeah, Joe Frazier had a cameo in Rocky 1. Yeah, Val Colbert. And I'm like, Colbert, because when you say Colbert, I'm thinking about the boxer, what's his name? They call him Lil B-Hop. Oh, he was your first trainer? Wow. Small world. Yeah, because there's a lot of people that used to fight in was that Trenton. They used to be, it was some good boxers from Trenton. They used to go to Philly and train a lot too. Yeah, we was like becoming good friends. Steve Cunningham. He from Philly. See, I used to love trying to fight people from Philly. For one, when you fight somebody from Philly, you know you're going to fight. And my thing, I don't want nobody to run from me. Because it was like a video game. I didn't want to chase behind nobody. Like with Shannon Briggs, that was good sparring. Ray Mercer, that was always good sparring. I fought this guy. I don't know if see a lot of y'all younger than me. Like I sparred people like Bobby Chase. I even sparred the great how I forget his name. He was my teammate. He was my stablemate. I forget his name. I forget his name. Gone. Yeah, he's my stablemate. He went to the Olympics and everything. Or I don't know. I forget it. Yeah, he gave him a good fight. That was a shocker. I was like, oh man, I thought he was gonna finish him. Because at first, Tyson Fury to me, he wasn't a good boxer to me in the beginning because he was doing a lot of mistakes. Like when he punched himself in the face, that right there, like, who does that? Who literally uppercuts themselves in the face? That's something that you see amateurs do, like a joker that just came in the gym and he threw a punch and it put, yo, that jump was funny. You ever went to Front Street Gym? I heard of that gym. I probably did. I heard of that gym. That's the gym from the first Creed movie. Trained there too. Wow. Yeah, I went to a lot of the gyms in New Jersey. Like me going to other gyms, that was like a specialty. I went to gyms over in Europe. I went to the ones in the Isle of Jersey. What other gyms I went to? Philly. Most of my gyms I went to, all the other gyms, there's like special trips. I was watching Ray Mercer versus Tommy Morrison highlights tonight, actually. That was one of the most richest knockouts ever. And guess who trained Ray Mercer for that fight? I mean, who sparred him? I sparred him. I'm glad he ain't hit me like that while we were sparring. I sparred Ray Mercer for that fight. I know this gonna sound bad. I know my friend Alabama, he's gonna get mad at it. But I used to always my goal was to fight Tommy the Duke Morrison. Always looked at Tommy the Duke Morrison like I almost look at Jake Paul. I always thought Tommy the Duke Morrison was hype. But even though he had the hook, I always be like, he's hype. All he got is that hook. That's all he got. But that's how I was using him to boost myself up to like, hey, I'm gonna fight on one day. Yup, he sure did. He sure did. That was a crazy knockout. That was crazy. I thought Tommy the Duke Morrison was gonna beat him down because for that fight, Ray, he parties a lot. He loves to go out and party. He loves coming in late. It was times when we were sparring, he paid me just to be there. I'm like, because I love sparring. I used to love sparring. One more round, Tommy. Was he really John Wayne's nephew? Oh, man. They say so. I don't know. They say he was John Wayne's nephew. And then they said he's part Native American. What's up, Norton Block Solo? Appreciate you popping in. That I got 100 views today. Appreciate you popping in. Nothing much. Had interview today. I was talking about some different things today. Shoot, everybody popping in when I'm about to log off. I was just thinking about logging off, and then everybody start having great conversations. But that's good. The more conversation we have and companies see that we're talking boxing, we care about boxing, that inspires them. That inspires them because I'm looking at how many views I got, and I posted on LinkedIn that I'm doing a show today. So developers, they're going to watch. They're not going to say anything. They're going to just watch, shadow watch. Because once they say something, they're going to feel like they have to back it up. So they're not going to say anything. They don't want to put themselves out there like that. because I got, you know, a lot of views. It's a lot of views. So that means the developers that I told to come to the show, they popped in and probably popped back out. Yeah, guys, but I think I'm about to end the show because this like 3 hours I did. Y'all ain't gonna make me do no 6 hours, no 4 hours, and none of that. Yeah, rest in peace, Tommy. Salute. But you know, I appreciate you, Mike Adams. You like dollars inspires them. Yeah. I appreciate y'all. And I'm gonna tell some more stories because I got mad stories about different like famous boxers that you know, sparred or talked to and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if any of y'all know Livingstone Brambo, and I don't know why I keep forgetting one of my stablemates. What was his name? I know I'm gonna think about it once I get off. But yeah, I see y'all tomorrow at 6 p.m. Hopefully y'all pop in and show up. So I'm gonna end the show. Appreciate everybody that came in. Let me give my shout outs. Don D 205. Check his show out. Eastern Standard Time is 12:20. I say 12:20, 12:22, something like that. Is on Twitch. He's on Instagram. He's on Twitter, X. And shout out to Random Thoughts 4569 for coming through. Shout out to Mike Adams 7904 for coming through. Shout out to Norton Block Solo for coming through. Shout out to Low Alabama. Shout out to Card Boxing for coming through. Shout out to who else popped in? JMMA popped up. Appreciate you, JMMA. Shout out to who else popped in here? Oh, Risky Rich Gaming. Appreciate you for coming through. Appreciate everybody that popped in. And you know, I'm having another show tomorrow. If y'all want to come in, y'all can. You know, please share this if y'all want to, but please just hit the like button on your way out. And thank y'all and salute to everybody. Salute, I appreciate y'all. All right, I'm gonna try to keep the stories coming. I wasn't a big talker, so it might not be that many, but I tell you, you know, I got a lot of stories. All right, peace. See y'all tomorrow.